boxing a notorious Russian arms dealer. This ends Griner's 10-month detainment imprisonment in Russia on drug charges. According to ABC News, she could arrive in San Antonio either tonight or tomorrow morning. Raiders tonight seek a fourth straight win and continue their push for a playoff spot when they take on the Rams in the opening game of NFL Week 14. Couple of reasons why Vegas has bounced back from that 2-7 start and could sneak into the playoffs, says Canty and Carlin co-host Chris Canty.
You're getting the return on investment with Devontae Adams. I think he just went over his 7th 100-yard receiving game on the year. That's what you traded for that guy for. Josh Jacobs finally fulfilling some level of promise that they had when they took him in the first round 4 years ago.
Chris Canty on Greeny. ESPN's Adam Schefter reports if Rams quarterback John Wolford's not healthy enough to play, Baker Mayfield would be in line to start. Rookie Desmond Ridder will replace Marcus Mariota as the Falcons' starting quarterback. Former Cowboys coach Jason Garrett among the finalists for the Stanford head coaching job.
Do you own or rent your home? Sure you do. Fortunately, Geico makes it easy to bundle your home and car insurance. It's a good thing, too, because having a home is hard work. Go to geico.com, get a quote, and see how much you could save. Geico.com. Easy.
Matt Moscona.
I'm very important.
After further review.
Say it one more time.
After further review with Matt Moscona.
And here we go.
ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria. Live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge studios.
Let's ride.
And off we go. Welcome aboard. Glad you're with us. AFR presented by the Aesthetic Medicine and Anti-Aging Clinics of Louisiana. I'm Matt.
You're a loser, Matt!
Shut up, kid. Danny Cardenas.
Every time I come around your city, bang, bang. Make it rain, word about any bang, bang.
Musu. And Mr. Toby Tomplay. All right, we're here. Glad you are as well. Get out there and make it a good one. Ton to do today. Darren Tietgen's going to be in studio with us later this hour for our Fantasy Blitz. We'll line up your fantasy football questions. Glenn Logan, former Tiger, 1 hour from right now. Interestingly, part of the XFL now and also part of the WWE talent promotion thing. You remember that? They did this whole... Do you remember this? They did this NIL. The WWE has this NIL roster thing.
I remember that. I don't remember Glenn Logan being a part of it.
Glenn Logan is a part of it. So I'm going to ask him about that as well. It's 1 hour from right now. Paul Nolan next hour. Mike Triplett hour 3. So a ton to do. Glad to have you hanging out with us here. Okay. Another day has brought more portal news. Yeah. I like it. Stop rolling your eyes. Or you can roll your eyes, but I don't care. Both Cole Taylor and Desmond Little today have entered the portal. So LSU now 6 players in the transfer portal. We'll start with Cole Taylor, who is probably most famous and notorious for this.
In the flat. Can Cole Taylor get there? No, nowhere near the line to make. Tried to go up and over and could not escape from Marco Wilson and Trevez Johnson. Is there a flag down? We have no chance of seeing that from our booth in this spot.
I think the penalty is going to be because one of the Florida defensive players ripped off the cleat of 87 and threw it down the field.
Oh, wow.
After the play, unsportsmanlike conduct. Number 11 of the defense, throwing the LSU player's shoe 20 yards down the field.
Better call, throwing the LSU player's shoe or giving him the business. Raul Rod Cherry back in the day. Marco Wilson cost his team a game that night with the heroics by Cade York. All Cole Taylor did was get stopped short of the first. Like somehow Cole Taylor has been like deified when all he did was just get tackled. I mean, but one of the crazy wacky plays, and Cole Taylor will be synonymous with that for all of LSU history and all of LSU lore for sure. Taylor's one of those guys who was a highly sought-after guy coming out of the state of Colorado. I think he was the fourth best player in the state of Colorado when he signed with LSU in 2020. And look, it's just obvious. LSU, Taylor came in the same class with Eric Gilbert. Gilbert transferred out. We know what happened with LSU at the tight end position. You brought back Nick Storrs out of a medical retirement. Jack Mashburn played there. Jack Besh, as a freshman, played tight end out of necessity. That's how bad they were at the spot. Or desperate they were at the spot. And Brian Kelly's making that over. Mason Taylor had a standout freshman season. You'll remember this. And Brian Kelly told us before this season how high he was on Mason Taylor.
Mason Taylor is as good of any freshman tight end that I've had. He is outstanding. He put on about 20 pounds. He's 242 pounds. He ran 19.6 yesterday on GPS. It's one of those things. I'd like to say that we out-recruited everybody in the country on him. We liked him, but he's been better than anything that we could have hoped for. He's going to come in and he's going to play a lot of football for us in the SEC, and he is going to hit like the kid from Georgia hit, where he blew up the SEC as a true freshman. Mason Taylor, I couldn't be more excited about him.
Well, let's be honest. He's not Brock Bowers, but what a freshman season for Mason Taylor. So Cole Taylor sort of exiting stage right, and started in 7 games, played in 32 during his LSU career. He's got 2 years of eligibility remaining, so you wish Cole Taylor the best. He's going to seek better opportunities because Brian Kelly's making over that tight end room. And let's not forget, this is something, and I know we talked about this a lot, but let's not forget Brian Kelly. This is his MO. Tight ends, offensive linemen. That is who he churns out into the NFL draft more often and better than anyone. Brian Kelly had 8 tight ends drafted during his time at Notre Dame. 8. And that's not even including Michael Mayer, who's going to be a first-rounder this year, and when he had Kelsey back at Cincinnati. This is a giant part of what he does. A lot of us were laughing in the offseason, when he kept insisting they were going to use 2 tight ends, and who are you going to run out there? The former baseball player who was medically retired? The former high school quarterback who you flipped to tight end? The guy who's famous for having his shoe thrown? And I'll be darned, man, they've made it work. So you wish Cole Taylor the best, but more so this is about Brian Kelly continuing to remake and develop that tight end room. So, of course, Mason Taylor develops as a freshman. Mason Taylor this year had 33 catches for 326 yards and 2 touchdowns. I want to put this into perspective. So 33 catches for 326. Back in 1996, David LaFleur became a first-team All-American and was a number 1 draft pick of the Dallas Cowboys. He had 30 catches for 439 yards. Mason Taylor had 33 catches for 326. Mason Taylor had a very comparable year to the year David LaFleur had in 1996 when he became a first-round draft pick. Now, the times have changed a ton, obviously, but my point is there's a lot of reason to be optimistic about Mason Taylor over the next 2 or 3 seasons after this. And then you've also got Mac Markway committed out of St. Louis for this coming class. You've got Tavion Galloway committed for 2024. And then, look, the number 2 player in Louisiana for 2024 is Trey'Dez Green, who's a tight end from Louisiana. So Brian Kelly clearly has targeted that position and has continued to upgrade it. So you wish Cole Taylor just all the best, and certainly he'll land in a spot where it's going to suit him better to get more reps as LSU continues to upgrade this roster, as Brian Kelly's continued to say that he would. So the other part of this this day is Desmond Little, who jumped in the portal. And this one is interesting because Desmond Little is playing a position where LSU desperately needs bodies. I mean, I have told you even before the end of the season, that LSU is they're going to target edge players in the portal. You're very likely going to lose B.J. Ojulari to the draft. Ali Gay, his eligibility is expired. So really the only jack that you have coming back is Xavier Carter. And we saw Harold Perkins play that sort of outside linebacker jack spot a little bit this year, but that's really not where you want him to be. You'd love for him to be an every down linebacker on the inside. But with Desmond Little, Brian Kelly talked about him in the fall, and they were so thin at that jack spot. They moved Desmond Little. Of course, when B.J. Ojulari changed his jersey number, So did Desmond Little. But Little is a guy who he took when Ojulari got 18. Little switched his jersey, I think from 58 to 8 that Ojulari was wearing. And Little was a guy who really popped when we got to watch him in fall camp, and he was someone that the coaches back in fall were very excited about.
We wanted a little bit more flexibility, and Desmond Little has had a really good camp for us. And that's given us, a big lift because we were considering maybe that we would have to, look at maybe Ali Gay playing, both positions and giving us a little bit more. But I think with Desmond playing really well at that jack position, it allows us to solidify that group.
So that is an illustration of coming into this season how thin they were on that defensive front, and that they were moving Desmond Little to jack because they needed bodies there. And ultimately now Little is jumping into the transfer portal. Little will have trying to see how much eligibility he has left. Forgive me, I'm trying to see it here in this reader, and I don't see it. So my apologies. But Desmond Little enters the transfer portal. For whatever it's worth, LSU has issued 3 offers in the portal, and 2 of them are to, and this sometimes lets you know what they were thinking, or the coaches already knowing. Brian Kelly said last week he had a pretty good idea of what they were going to do. Cole Taylor entering the portal. We talked about they were going to go after a tight end. Kyle Morlock, the tight end from Shorter University. He's a graduate transfer from Division II Shorter University. He got his offer from LSU back in November. He's got double-digit offers already since the portal opened up. So Kyle Morlock is one of them. And then they've offered Braden Fisk, who's a defensive tackle from Western Michigan. And then Braden Swin is the edge player from Oregon that they offered as well. So 1.5 tackles for loss. He's played 3 seasons that was this year. Played 3 seasons at Oregon, 35 tackles, 5.5 for loss, 3 sacks. So he's been a rotational player there, but a guy that could very likely come to LSU and be part of its rotation immediately at a position where they need it. He'll have 2 seasons of eligibility left as well. We'll see if the Tigers can get Braden Swinson there. Okay, it's after further review. We're glad to have you aboard with us here. So Cole Taylor, Desmond Little, they enter the portal. That's the latest news from LSU here as they continue to navigate this portal culture and what the roster is going to look like moving forward. That's 6 players now for LSU who have entered the portal with Jack Besh, Demarius McGee, Raydarius Jones, Cole Taylor, Desmond Little, Phillip Webb, and Antoine Sampa. All right, it's after further review. We're glad to have you aboard with us here. We'll knock out our first break of the show. When we come back, a couple of LSU freshmen have been honored. We'll talk about that coming up here. And your New Orleans Pelicans are now in first place in the Western Conference. Absolutely incredible. We'll talk about it next on AFR.
AFR.
Brought to you by Clegg's Nursery. Buy local, shop local over at Clegg's Nursery, where they got Christmas trees, y'all. It is the 8th, so we are counting down to Christmas. 17 days, not too late. It is not too late to go by Clegg's Nursery and get that Christmas tree. They have an amazing selection, still a really, really good selection of live Christmas trees. If you want to go pick out your Christmas tree, you can do it now at any of the 4 Clegg's locations. Siegen near Airline, LA 16 in Denham, Mid-City on Donmore, and the Garden Center on Greenwell Springs. I tell you every single day to buy local and shop local, especially when we're here talking Christmas trees. Live Christmas trees, all different sizes. They've got you covered. They've also got pre-lit Christmas trees if you prefer the artificial or pre-lit trees. And if you want decor, indoor or outdoor decor to celebrate and decorate this Christmas season, Clegg's can help you. Any of their 4 locations for more than 60 years, I tell you every single day. Buy local, shop local, tell them Matt sent you in to Clegg's Nursery.
Bayou Ford has the new inventory to get you in a new Ford truck or SUV today, or customize your next vehicle just the way you want. All new Bayou Ford vehicles come with a 1 million mile powertrain warranty. The crew at Bayou Ford is going to do right by you.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play. with safety and tech to keep you connected. Supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team. And backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
ServiceMaster Elite create clean, disinfected work environments. As a local business, we take pride in serving the New Orleans and Baton Rouge areas. Our cleaning protocols follow CDC and OSHA standards for healthcare settings, offices, senior living, restaurants, and industrial plants. Contact ServiceMaster Elite to get your operation ready for reopening with germ disinfection cleaning. ServiceMaster Elite, the trusted choice in professional cleaning since 1996.
It's no secret. The best oysters in Baton Rouge are at Jolie Pearl Oyster Bar. Enjoy mouth-watering South Louisiana flavor and oysters from all over the country. And don't forget our nightly drink specials. Jolie Pearl Oyster Bar, located in downtown Baton Rouge.
Eli's always been into grilling. It took us a while to see it, but the signs were there.
What are you doing, Eli?
I knew grilling was my thing. I have been talking about it throughout my career.
Happy with the results?
I am. Got the new grill from barbecueguys.com. It performed great.
My advice, as I always told my boys,
do more of what you're born to do.
Barbecue Guys, for those who were born to grill.
You want cheese on your burger, Pops?
I'll take a little cheese.
There's nothing better than tailgating, but it can be a lot of work. So why do it yourself when you don't have to? Let Revelry Sports and Entertainment set up your luxury tailgate on campus. Order what you want and just show up to party. Book your tailgate.
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by the Aesthetic Medicine and Anti-Aging Clinics of Louisiana, Baton Rouge, Lafayette, and online at theantiagingclinics.com. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria.
Where's my Christmas music, Muse? Where is it?
The poll results are in.
Okay.
Regular Pels talk, no more Christmas bit. Regular Pels talk, 62%.
I'm overruling the poll.
Okay.
Give me Christmas music. I want Christmas music. And I'm going to tell you why I'm overruling the poll. We don't necessarily. So for those that don't know, longstanding rule on this show, not dictated by me, but dictated largely by you and your interest, that we don't talk NBA until Christmas. I personally would love to see the NBA not start its season until Christmas Day. That way you would carry the NBA season into July when there is less live sports action. You're kind of in the middle of the Major League regular season, and the NBA could completely own July instead of trying to compete at the beginning of the NBA season during football season, which is just stupid. So anyway, it's not for lack of interest. I'll go home and watch Pels games, but largely it's your interest that dictates what we talk about. So I felt all along that this Pelicans team was going to be good and warranted mentions. So what we did was we just would play Christmas music, tell each other Merry Christmas, and we would play graph calls and have fun and pretend like every time the Pelicans played, it was Christmas Day. We just turned it into Christmas Day. And the point that I made is I don't think the bit was warranted anymore because this team is good enough to warrant their own conversation, so we ran a Twitter poll. Should we just do Pels talk or keep doing the Christmas bit? And so what were the percentages?
62% said just Pels talk.
So that's a nice win.
Good win.
That's a good win. But Christmas music makes everybody feel better, doesn't it?
Yep, I agree. I love it.
And especially when you're listening to Graph. Christmas music just makes Graph even better than he already is.
Duran. Oh, strip Marshall. He had an easy layup up the floor tray. Alley-oop Z. Slam it in left hand. That was a ridiculously tough catch. He was nearly behind the backboard.
He's so good. Awesome. If you missed it, Pels win last night, and by virtue of the Celtics beating Phoenix, your New Orleans Pelicans are now first place in the Western Conference. Almost inexplicable to see. Danny, you can pull this up if you'd like to. When you look at the Western Conference standings, there it is, first place. I mean, clear as day, there ain't faking that. The New Orleans Pelicans in first. This is a team that a year ago was 3-13 out the gate. 3-13 out the gate a year ago. They make the CJ trade. They get a little healthy down the stretch. They go on a run, and I'll be damned. They win the play-in tournament. They pushed Phoenix to a Game 6, and they have carried that momentum from that offseason. You draft Dyson Daniels. You get healthy. You get Zion back. And this team right now has figured out depth. It's figured out rotations. And most importantly, it has figured out defensive efficiency. That, for so many years, was the bugaboo of this team. They just could not stop teams, and most importantly, they could not stop teams from shooting threes. Their three-point defense was atrocious. We talked about the Pels lacking wings for years. They have solved that. They have solved it. They have depth. They are so fun to watch, and even on a night like last night when they played against Phoenix and didn't play their best, they still found a way to win 104-98. And you had a good crowd last night as well. Like, I'm looking at the box score here to see the exact attendance in last night's ball game. 14,073. That's 83% capacity. Y'all, that's a Wednesday night against a 7-20, or at the time 7-19 Pistons team. That's not Golden State coming in on a Wednesday night. That's the Pistons on a Wednesday night, and you got 14,000 people in the blender actually feeling it. Yo, this team is something special. Now, look, you got to be able to stay healthy throughout the duration of the season. They've already shown their depth and their ability to win without their star players. No BI, no Herb last night again, and you're still finding a way to win games, which is phenomenal to see. And ultimately, Jake Madison was here with us yesterday and talked about it. Thank you, you can try that down. Whenever they get to the postseason, you're going to trim your rotation down to about 8 guys. So you're not going to need everybody down the bench that you're using right now, but you need those guys right now to continue to stockpile wins so you can get in that top 4 and have home court. And then look at things like right now, you play this weekend twice against Phoenix. You get 2 games against Phoenix, Friday, Sunday. You could be talking about tiebreakers down the road. I mean, all of this matters now. So I'm not going to sit here and look, it's pretty cool to look at the standings a third of the way through the season and see the Pels first place in the West. That's pretty stinking cool. Because normally we're like, okay, well, how low do they have to go to, talk about lottery and who they might be able to get. We're playing the ping pong ball sounder, all those. I mean, think about the transition of bits on this show just to work in NBA talk. Where I would play a ping pong ball sounder just so we could talk about the team whenever they lose, so we could talk about their draft position. It's flipped, man. We can legit talk about rotations in this team now, and who they're playing on a given night and why it matters, and standings and defense, and who's stepping up on a given night. Like Jose the other night scoring 38. I mean, it is pretty incredible to watch this team right now. I mean, Zion's a walking double-double every night. He had 29 points last night, which was awesome to see. So, man, Pels keep on rolling. So they'll have the day off today, and then a really big weekend with Phoenix coming in for a Friday-Sunday tilt at the Blender. So see if the Pels can maintain their spot top the Western Conference with Phoenix coming in this weekend. All right, it's After Further Review. We're brought to you by the Aesthetic Medicine and Anti-Aging Clinics of Louisiana. Blue Bond in Baton Rouge, Ambassador Caffrey in Lafayette. Online at theantiagingclinics.com. That's theantiagingclinics.com. Great gift card specials all this month. If you need the stocking stuffer for the hard-to-buy-for person on your list, a gift card from the Aesthetic Medicine and Anti-Aging Clinics of Louisiana is a great option. With every gift card you buy, it can unlock great specials and savings and deals on other products and services. Blue Bond in Baton Rouge, Ambassador Caffrey in Lafayette, and online at theantiagingclinics.com. Give me more graph. I want another one. Give me more graph. I don't care what it is.
3-ball tray. He answers from the right wing. So you trade threes out of the timeout.
All right, so he wasn't really feeling it too much last night.
It wasn't his best. It was good, but it wasn't his best. It wasn't.
Well, he's listening right now too. I know he is. I know he's listening. I can't confirm that. I don't know for sure. You know what? I do know he's listening because he's in the carpool line. He's in the carpool line. He's listening right now. Give me the dunk. Give me the Zion dunk.
Again?
No, you played the save and you played the trade.
I played the dunk.
All right,
save?
You played the Zion save. It was the first one you played.
I thought that was the dunk.
Duran. Oh, strip Marshall. He had an easy layup up the floor. Trey. Alley-oop Z. Slam it in left hand.
I mean,
that was a ridiculously tough catch.
That's Pete draft right there.
He was nearly behind the backboard.
Give me the Najee putback. Let me hear it.
Corner back to McCollum. Shot clock at 8. He drives. He falls from the baseline. Floater no. And followed in by Najee Marshall. Left to the bucket with 2 hands.
Let him beat Phoenix tomorrow.
Oh.
Let him beat Phoenix tomorrow. Or better yet, Sunday.
Yeah.
That'd be even better. All right. It's after further review. What else did I have here? A couple of one other roster thing that I want to get to from LSU. So we talked about the 2 guys entering the portal with Cole Taylor, Desmond Little entering the transfer portal today. The other thing of note is Mekhi Garner, if you missed this. Mekhi Garner did go through senior day festivities before the UAB game, but he still had the option to return as a super senior. He is apparently not going to take advantage of that opportunity. Mekhi Garner has accepted an offer to participate in the East-West Shrine game. So he went through senior day festivities. Now he's playing the East-West Shrine game. So Mekhi Garner's going pro. He's going to go play in that all-star game, try to show out for scouts and get to the next level. He was a 5th-year senior, but because he had a redshirt year and the COVID year, he had a 6th year available to him if he wanted to use it. He apparently is not going to use it, which you understand, but that's just further evidence, illustration of how LSU is going to have to work hard this offseason to rebuild that cornerback room because you're losing Jarp Bernard-Converse, Mekhi Garner, and Colby Richardson now, and you're still waiting to hear what Sevin Banks is going to do. Demarius McGee, Radarius Jones have entered the portal, so you really have nobody with experience. I mean, you have no experience in that room right now. If Sevin Banks comes back, he played a good bit at Ohio State, but he's battled injuries the past few years. So how available is he, to what degree, all that remains to be seen. But that's just got to be a huge part of this recruiting class, both with freshmen and in the portal. All right, it's after further review. Let me knock out a quick break. We'll go around the SEC. About 15 minutes from right now, Darren Tietgen will be with us, who2start.com. D's actually in studio, so we're fired up for that. Haven't seen my guy in like 10 years. Like, really. We did a show at TJ Ribs like 10 years ago, and we're just always on the phone. But good to have him in studio today. So that's coming up in about 15 minutes. Before you set your fantasy football roster, check with our guys at who2start.com so you can get your fantasy questions in. We'll get to that coming up here shortly. And former Tiger Glenn Logan to start hour number 2. It's about 30 minutes from right now. All right, glad you're here. Stick around. It's AFR.
AFR. It's a raving fan shout-out. Presented by Darren James & Associates, brokered by eXp Realty.
We are cruising toward the new year. And if you want to start the new year in a new home, you know what to do. Call Darren James and get your home sold. 335-7666, 335-7666, or agent225.com. That's agent225.com. Every home listed by every company all in one place right there at agent225.com. The most user-friendly website in real estate, but mostly what you need to know is this. There are, golly, so many people, as the market has cooled a little bit, who have those signs out in the yard, and they're just sitting. And maybe they're not getting showings. Maybe you're not getting the amount of showings or the calls or the movement that you want. Well, you need Darren James. Call the realtor that sells more homes than anyone. Call the realtor that has buyers lined up ready to buy exactly what you're selling. Call Darren James. Wall Street Journal's lists the top 1% of realtors in America. Agent225.com for Darren James.
Think real estate, think Darren James.
There it is, the extra mile. On the border of expected and extraordinary. For those willing to go further. Like vans customized for work or play. With safety and tech to keep you connected. Supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team. And backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Crime has serious consequences, but anyone can make a mistake. If you find yourself in trouble with the law, know that you have rights, and it's okay to demand them. The law offices of O.C. Brown are here to protect you and your rights. Felony or misdemeanor, DUI or drug charge. No matter what crime you're accused of, you still have rights. Let the law offices of O.C. Brown uphold them. Call 225-343-1111. Your law firm for a lifetime.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Time doesn't stop, and the world keeps spinning. Community, culture, and communications, the powerful circle that connects us together. We're creating the next evolution, a network built for every possibility, moving faster than ever before, streaming us forward into the future. And the revolution is closer than you think. RTC, ETEL, and Vision are now Rev. New name, same company.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
This is a house call. This is a follow-up appointment. This is a diabetes checkup. This isn't just more convenient care, it's more advanced care. This is innovating healthcare at Louisiana's #1.
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by the Aesthetic Medicine and Anti-Aging Clinics of Louisiana, Baton Rouge, Lafayette, and online at theantiagingclinics.com. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria.
All right, you cannot take your eyes off of the portal wire and the news as it's coming. We do have more portal news. I don't know, man. Portal sounder's kind of getting old. It was like the Justice sounder. We had a deep six it. It just got old and tired and loud and annoying.
It actually took the Justice sounder spot on the board there.
Maybe it's the spot on the board.
It could be.
Maybe that's what it is. Need something like shorter. But anyway, so there are now 7 LSU Tigers in the transfer portal. Colby Fields has entered the transfer portal. This is interesting. Colby Fields, of course, went to Rummel. And went to South Carolina for his freshman season. After 1 year, transferred from South Carolina to LSU. And LSU was really specific about this last offseason when they brought in Colby Fields and West Weeks from Virginia. They brought in guys that they knew weren't going to be starters, but it was an opportunity to build depth at that position for the following season, knowing Mike Jones and Micah Baskerville were both seniors. And you had Greg Penn, and then it was like, okay, well, now Fields and Weeks, and you can start to build that spot as you saw Antoine Sampa go into the draft and Josh White, into the portal and Josh White. Like some of your depth at linebacker, you had lost due to transfer. So they were building up some depth behind those guys for next year. So it's interesting that Colby Fields has jumped into the portal here. And the reason that's interesting is, remember, when we talk about the portal and the immediate eligibility, you have a one-time transfer waiver. That's it. You can transfer and be immediately eligible just once. So Colby Fields has used that. He transferred from South Carolina and was immediately eligible this year and played in 11 games, primarily on special teams, but he used his one-time transfer. So wherever he goes next year, provided it's at the FBS level, he could go down a level. He can go to FCS and play right away. But if he stays FBS and transfers, he'll have to sit out next year, or he'll have to get a waiver for immediate eligibility. And, man, it will be hard to see or to learn what that hardship waiver would be that the NCAA would grant to allow Colby Fields to be eligible immediately. So now 7 players from LSU in the transfer portal after Colby Fields has thrown his name into the portal. So if you're trying to keep track of all this at home, Jack Besh, Raydarius Jones, Demarius McGee, Colby Fields, Cole Taylor, and who's the other one I'm missing? I'm missing somebody.
Did you say Antoine Sampa?
Yeah, I said Sampa.
Philip Webb?
Webb, Sampa. I'm missing somebody.
Webb, Sampa, Little, Fields.
Taylor. Raydarius Jones, Demarius McGee. That's 7. No, that's 7.
And then I think there's 8, though.
No, there were 6.
6?
And that makes 7. Fields makes 7. That's my point. Like, we're trying to
there's a lot.
Trying to keep track of them. So, On3 has a good tracker, actually. So we'll just have to, use the On3 tracker as best we can. They have a portal tracker for every team. And so, here we go. Let me get LSU's transfer portal tracker from On3. That's not it. I don't care. We'll figure it out. I think there's 7. I'm almost positive there's 7. And if there's more than 7, we'll figure it out. All right, it's After Further Review. We're brought to you by DraftKings. Do you want to bet on how many people are in the portal? Can we get odds on how many people are in the portal? Is that a thing that we might be able to do?
Let's ask Jimmy later.
Jimmy might be able. Actually, that's not a bad thought. He probably could do that for us. But DraftKings, the official sports betting partner of the NBA, make a pregame moneyline bet, $5 pregame moneyline bet on any NBA game. If you're a new customer, use the promo code Baton Rouge. Make a pregame $5 moneyline bet on any NBA game. If it hits, they'll give you $150 in free bets only at the DraftKings Sportsbook. You got Thursday Night Football tonight. We got Paul Nolan coming up an hour from right now. You want to make your bets on Thursday Night Football. Paul Nolan's going to give you his pick there. Of course, you got the NBA action every single night. You got bowl season coming up as well. Get in on all the action at the DraftKings Sportsbook. So download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and be sure to use the promo code Baton Rouge. Remember, stepped up same-game parlays for every leg you add. You can boost. You got to opt in. You can boost up to 100%. That's anybody, new or existing customers. That's at the DraftKings Sportsbook. Remember, use the promo code Baton Rouge. 21 and older, physically present in Louisiana. Select parishes only. Eligibility and deposit restrictions apply. Bonus issued as free bets. Eligibility and terms at sportsbook.draftkings.com/basketball. Terms. Licensing partner Golden Nugget Lake Charles. Gambling problem. Call 1-800-GAMBLER. 1-800-426-2537. All right, here it is. Besh, McGee, Jones, Taylor, Little, Webb, Sampa, and Fields.
So that's 8.
Who did we leave off?
I have no idea. But that's 8. Did we just miscount? Did we say everybody's name and miscount?
Probably. I don't care. Let's go around the SEC. I'm done with it. All the math. I don't do math. Too many names. Too many names
Around
of
the
players.
SEC, presented by Gulf Coast Office
that don't
Products.
play.
Excellence in imaging solutions. The Florida Gators.
Okay, Anthony Richardson, has left school early, get ready for the draft. He's not playing the Las Vegas Bowl, so Billy Napier has named Jack Miller the starting quarterback. Miller transferred in from Ohio State, where he was C.J. Stroud's backup. He was competing for the starting job in the offseason, but broke his thumb and needed surgery, so he missed the bulk of the season. But now Jack Miller will start. And, of course, Jalen Kitna got arrested on child pornography charges. So Jack Miller will start for Florida in the bowl game.
The Alabama Crimson Tide.
Alabama Associate Defensive Coordinator and Safeties Coach Charles Kelly. He's joining Deion Sanders at Colorado. Charles Kelly is going to be the Buffs' defensive coordinator. Kelly's been at Alabama the last 4 seasons. Previously, he was the DC at Florida State under Jimbo Fisher from 2014 to 2017.
The Kentucky Wildcats.
Kentucky's got a commitment from former Alabama offensive guard Tanner Bowles. Bowles played just 74 offensive snaps over 4 years in Lexington. Well, I just buzzed Andy on that one. My bad. 4 years, with the Crimson Tide. He's headed to Lexington. He was the number 19 offensive guard in the country in the 2019 class.
Texas A&M!
Nation's top running back is headed to College Station after a high-profile decommitment from Louisville. 5-star Reuben Owens, he committed to Texas A&M Wednesday night, just hours after flipping from Louisville. He had been committed to Scott Satterfield. Satterfield left. They hired Jeff Brom. And then Owens promptly decommitted from Louisville, flipped to Texas A&M. He originally committed to Texas back in February of 2021, later flipped to Louisville. Now he'll be an Aggie.
The Georgia Bulldogs.
Jaden Perlott, 5-star linebacker from Buford High School in Georgia. He is committed to the Bulldogs. He is a 5-star linebacker, number 4 linebacker in the country, and the number 32 overall prospect for the 2025 class. He's just the second commit for 2025 there in Athens. That means he's finishing up his sophomore season of high school. All right, there you have it. That is Around the SEC, presented by Gulf Coast Office Products. Shout out to our guy Trey Beal and our friends at Gulf Coast Office Products online at gcopnet.com, gcopnet.com for Gulf Coast Office Products. Face-to-face sales, service after the sale. That's what you always get at Gulf Coast Office Products. Proudly selling the Savin line, a national leader among Savin dealers, but they will service all makes and models. It's Gulf Coast Office Products, gcopnet.com. Did you see this yesterday? Dylan Johnson is a running back from Mississippi State. Decommitted. I'm sorry, didn't decommit. He entered the transfer portal. So he's leaving Mississippi State. And so everybody does these graphics, right? They make these transfer portal or draft graphics and all this stuff to announce when they're leaving. Well, Dylan Johnson gained an awful lot of attention because of his graphic. Where he says, first and foremost, I'd like to thank God for giving me the opportunity to showcase my talents at the college level. Thanked his family and friends and teammates and all that stuff. But he says, with that being said, since I'm not very tough and Leach is glad I'm leaving, I will be entering my name into the transfer portal with the hopes of finding a more fit playing environment for me. Thank you. I mean, like, I'm a little torn on this. Like, I'm sympathetic to the kid. I am. The coach told him he's not tough and he's glad he's leaving. The other side of it is, like, some of us were coached tough. Like, tough love is a real thing in coaching. Sometimes you tell guys, hey, man, you got to toughen up. Like, that's a thing in coaching, right?
Yeah,
I mean,
that was one of my first thoughts was how's he viewed by potentially other coaches that might look at him in the portal? Does that actually impact it?
Right? Like, I mean, I thought it was hilarious.
Oh, it was hilarious.
It's a great parting shot. It's a good dig. Careful when you burn bridges. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But, hey, to each their own. It's your life. Go live it. And you want to go onto social media and put that on the graphic? Dog, all good. For what it's worth, Leach was reached by ESPN via text, who said he does not comment on players not. He said, we only here's a quote from Leach to ESPN. We only comment on players currently with our program. In any case, we wish him the best with his future.
Dang it. I wanted Leach to go on Mike Leach. Man.
Like their fat little girlfriends?
Yes, sir. Well, what do you want me to say? He wasn't tough. Like, that would have been awesome.
It just wasn't really, really tough. Says the mumbling, chubby dude who's an attorney and writes books about Geronimo, which I actually bought. Had Mike Leach on the show. I actually started to read that book. Did I ever tell you this?
No.
So Mike Leach wrote a book on Geronimo.
Yeah.
The Native American. He wrote a book on Geronimo. And this was 2014. It was the year that was doing, for much of the year, was doing the show in Houston while we were at the hospital. And so if I ever have someone on who wrote a book, I always try to read the book before I have them on because it helps you ask questions when you've read the book. It's sometimes like you have a day notice or so you can't read the whole thing. But I bought Geronimo thinking, oh, well, this is probably a book about like war strategy as it relates to football and the lessons learned from, right? That's what I'm thinking in my head, right? Just a book about Geronimo. Just a book about Geronimo.
Nary a mention of football.
Zero. Would have never known this dude was a football coach. Just a Geronimo book.
He's a beauty.
I made it about a third of the way through the book and was I am not reading this book. It was not very good. And it sits on my shelf.
I would imagine it reads how Mike Leach talks.
I don't remember. That's been 8 years. There was a very small window of a few days where I picked it up several times and tried to read it, and I've not touched it in 8 years, except maybe to move it on the shelf wherever it may be. Darren Tietgen, whotostart.com. Our Fantasy Blitz is next.
AFR.
Get Gordon and get it done. Gordon McKernan injury. Attorneys, you know what to do. Get Gordon, get it done. Have they made their announcement yet today? So last night we were at Oliver Twist, and several members of the Gordon McKernan injury attorneys marketing team came to hang, which was awesome to see. And they are about to announce the newest member of the G team. Of course, the Godfather of NIL has done incredible work with tons of athletes, Louisiana-based athletes, not just at LSU, but at a lot of different schools around the state. Well, they are about to announce the newest member of the G team. We did get it out of them last night, who it is. And my goodness, I think a lot of people are going to be excited about this one. But you know what to do. If you've been injured in an accident, it's not your fault. You need an attorney. Get Gordon and get it done. Gordon McKernan has been representing injured people in Louisiana for 3 decades. GetGordon.com, or you can always call 888-8888. That's 888-8888, or go to GetGordon.com. You know what to do. Get Gordon and get it done.
Bayou Ford has the new inventory to get you in a new Ford truck or SUV today, or customize your next vehicle just the way you want. All new Bayou Ford vehicles come with a 1 million mile powertrain warranty. The crew at Bayou Ford is going to do right by you.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
I'm Chris Nakamoto, and here's what I'm working on for my stories on WBRZ Channel 2 tonight. Baton Rouge police issued an arrest warrant for the father of a 1-year-old who overdosed on fentanyl. Charles Lee is wanted for negligent homicide and cruelty to juveniles. Following Jari Paul's death, Baton Rouge police have not been able to get in touch with him. Where investigators think he might be, I'm Chris Nakamoto. Join us for those stories and more tonight on WBRZ Channel 2.
Winter can be magical. The Mercedes-Benz winter event is here, and there's no better time to check out our new Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge inventory. We have the vehicles that can make your holiday extraordinary. See all the latest technological features on the newest models during our Mercedes-Benz winter event. Shop our best of the best award-winning dealership. Visit mbobr.com.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Louisiana. It's a place defined by culture, by pride, by passion, by people who do more than love this place. They celebrate it, elevate it, champion it. They are the individuals who embody what makes Louisiana great. The companies that make Louisiana a better place to work and live. The nonprofits leading transformational change in our communities. Champions of Louisiana are all around us, and LWCC is proud to celebrate them because we've always been Louisiana loyal, supporting the workers, the innovators, the change agents of this great place we call home. Who are the champions around you? Together, we can share their stories. Together, we can help our home state thrive. Together, we are Louisiana loyal. Always.
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by the Aesthetic Medicine and Anti-Aging Clinics of Louisiana, Baton Rouge, Lafayette, and online at theantiagingclinics.com. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria. After further review, this is the Fantasy Football Blitz.
Do you know who I am?
Powered by whotostart.com.
Who the hell are you?
whotostart.com.
Peekaboo!
The Fantasy Football Blitz.
Who the pittance?
This is the Fantasy Football Blitz, powered by whotostart.com on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge and 104.5ESPN.com.
All right, let's get it. Joining us in studio, Darren Teakin, whotostart.com. Been a minute since I've seen you, man. How are you?
It's been a while. I finally feel official being in this environment now.
The last time we had Darren in person, this had to be 20 13 maybe. It's been a minute.
It's been a minute.
And we were doing a remote at TJ Ribs on Acadian. So Darren came by and did the show with us there. But good to have you in studio, man. We appreciate it.
Yeah.
Of course. We always start with Thursday Night Football. So give us an idea of what we're looking at tonight.
Well, unfortunately, it's not that great of a matchup. I mean, the Rams are a mess.
Has Thursday Night Football been a great matchup?
Yeah, last week was great. I would have had lots of things to talk about, but I'm going to pretty much completely ignore the Rams, and so should you if you're looking for fantasy help. But in terms of the Raiders, expect the norm from Derek Carr, 250, 275 yards and a couple touchdowns. Devontae Adams and Josh Jacobs should both be good. Jacobs is a little dinged up, but he should be good to go. If you're looking for a sleeper out of that Raiders lineup, maybe Mac Hollins, since Jalen Ramsey might be tailing Devontae Adams quite a bit. So maybe Mac Hollins sneaks through for a touchdown.
We always look at who's on bye as well, so we need some sleepers. Atlanta, Chicago, Green Bay, the Colts, Saints, and Commanders. Sleepers, if teams are maybe looking for quarterback help, or what you got?
Yeah, it's a tough week for buys, especially a lot of teams vying for fantasy football playoff spots this week. So a couple sleepers for you. Tyler Huntley looks like Lamar Jackson's probably out. So Tyler Huntley has a similar skill set to Lamar Jackson, not quite as fast as Lamar Jackson, but he'll still get you those, quote unquote bonus points, maybe 4 or 5 extra bonus points based on his ability to run the football. Running back, let's get a little LSU flavor since I'm in town.
Let's
go. Leonard Fournette, I mean, he's probably on a roster, but if you're in a smaller league and want to pick him up, tough matchup against the Niners, but I think the Bucs are going to try to control the ball or control the game with the ground game. So look for Leonard Fournette maybe to get 60 or 70 yards and a touchdown. Then digging a little bit deeper at wide receiver Isaiah Hodgins from the Giants, looks to be getting some more looks from Daniel Jones, and I really like the matchup against the Eagles as their cornerbacks tend to take a lot of chances in coverage. So Hodgins might sneak in for a touchdown this week, like he did last week.
Darren Tietgen, who2start.com. New promo code as well. Promo code is Santa for 20% off that the rest of the season.
That's for the rest of the season, yeah.
20% off for the rest of the season. Use the promo code Santa over at who2start.com. Let's get your questions in, as we always do. We'll start on Twitter. This one says, who to start? Said, with Desmond Ridder now starting for the Falcons, is it worth taking a flyer on Drake London next week? That'll obviously be a game against the Saints. Both Saints and Falcons are on a bye this week.
I mean, it depends on who you're starting him over. I mean, I wouldn't plug him in as a 1 or 2 type of wide receiver, just because most likely Marshawn Lattimore is going to be on him, considering he's probably going to be back healthy by then. And then Drake London, obviously a rookie. Hard to rely on rookies, especially when another rookie's throwing him the ball. But we like the move to Ridder in terms of fantasy overall, but might be a week where you look at somebody else.
Brennan Thibodeau said, who to start? He says, I'm in a 10-team, 2-quarterback league. Marcus Mariota has been my QB2 all season. Now that he's benched, who should I try to replace him with?
Well, for this week, I mean, Tyler Huntley, if he's out there. Mike White, we talked about him last week. He's going to probably finish the year as the Jets quarterback, and, he slings the ball over the place, so he's a good option. Digging a little bit deeper, I mean, you want to go to the bottom of the barrel, go to Brock Purdy. I mean, he's a game manager, but look what Jimmy G did every week, 225 yards and 2 touchdowns. So if you could get away with that, especially in a 2-quarterback league, you could do worse than Brock Purdy.
Rusty says, I'm in the Dynasty Superflex PPR. Is Dante Foreman worth a 2023 late second-round pick?
Yes, absolutely. It looks like the Panthers are committed to him and committed to the run. They do have Chuba Hubbard out there just as kind of a backup, but Foreman looks like he's kind of a poor man's Derrick Henry. So, yeah, I would do that.
Remember, you can always email your question, matt@1045ESPN.com. You can tweet us at Matt Moscona. You can jump in the Bayou Ford YouTube chat on the Watch 1045 ESPN YouTube channel, or you can text in the 225-396-4400, 396-4400, 396-4400. Marcus says, who to start? He's got Hopkins or Keenan Allen for flex PPR league.
Yeah, Hopkins got a tough matchup this week, but, man, since he's come back, he's just been on fire. especially in PPR leagues. I mean, he catches like 6, 7, 8 balls before even halftime sometimes. So Keenan Allen I do like, has a good matchup, but I think I would still flag or put in Hopkins in that situation.
We're under a minute. Thoughts on Baker Mayfield tonight?
Well, if he plays, it'll be interesting to see
Have
how.
they announced a starter?
No, they're not going to say anything until warm-ups. Apparently, if if Wolford's neck is giving him problems,
wow.
Mayfield will supposedly get in there. I wouldn't expect much. I mean, unless you're in a 2-quarterback or super flex league, I would not look to Baker Mayfield to do much tonight, if anything at all.
He is Darren Teakin. Who2start.com. It's the numeral 2. Who2start.com. Remember, use the promo code Santa, get 20% off for the rest of the season. Go win your championship, man. Let the Who to Start guys help you. Who2start.com. Great to see you. Thanks for coming in.
Yeah,
we appreciate the time every single week from Darren Teakin and our friends here at Who2Start.com. All right, Glenn Logan, former Tiger. He joins us next after SportsCenter on AFR.
AFR.
We're brought to you by GMFS Mortgage and GMFSmortgage.com. Changing lives since 1999. Home buy, refi, construction loans. They do it all at GMFS Mortgage, and also just a great business. Voted the #1 best place to work in Baton Rouge from the Baton Rouge Business Report again this year. So no matter what loan you might be looking for, so many different loan options. And the loan officers at GMFS Mortgage have the experience to deal with whatever it is your situation calls for. Maybe you're concerned about rising interest rates. Don't be. They have a loan product for you. Maybe you're renting and you want to buy, but you don't have enough money for a down payment. Or so you think. There are 0 down loan options as well. Let a loan officer at GMFS Mortgage help you through that. They're our state's largest local lender, number 11 in the country when it comes to USDA loans annually. More than $1 billion annually in loans. They've helped hundreds of thousands of Louisiana residents. It's GMFS Mortgage. GMFSmortgage.com.
Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram has $11,000 off MSRP plus 2.9% for 72 months on all new 2022 Ram Black Widow trucks in stock. All new Bayou vehicles come with a 1 million mile powertrain warranty and free delivery. If you need sales or service, the crew at Bayou is going to do right by you.
My dad just really enjoyed his life, and he enjoyed smoking cigars and thought he was invincible. My stepdad quit smoking, and he really felt like he was in the clear. Sorry. I wish they would have been screened annually. It's not just you affect, it's your entire family.
For more information on Ochsner's free smoking cessation program and to see if you qualify for early lung screenings, visit ochsner.org/quit.
Oh, hey, what's up? It's Big D and Bubba, 100.7 The Tiger Morning Show. We'd love for you to join us every weekday, 4 a.m. till 9 a.m.
Yeah, everything you want in a show. Country music. We got laughs. We got celebrity in-studio guests. We just need you.
Join us every weekday morning, 4 a.m. to 9 a.m., right where it all started.
That's right. Louisiana's country station, 100.7 The Tiger.
Service Master Elite create clean, disinfected work environments. As a local business, we take pride in serving the New Orleans and Baton Rouge areas. Our cleaning protocols follow CDC and OSHA standards for healthcare settings, offices, senior living, restaurants, and industrial plants. Contact Service Master Elite to get your operation ready for reopening with germ disinfection cleaning. Service Master Elite, the trusted choice in professional cleaning since 1996.
It's no secret. The best oysters in Baton Rouge are at Jolie Pearl Oyster Bar. Enjoy mouth-watering South Louisiana flavor and oysters from all over the country. And don't forget our nightly drink specials. Jolie Pearl Oyster Bar, located in downtown Baton Rouge.
Eli's always been into grilling. It took us a while to see it, but the signs were there.
What are you doing, Eli?
I knew grilling was my thing. I have been talking about it throughout my career.
Happy with the results?
I am. Got the new grill from barbecueguys.com. It performed great.
My advice, as I always told my boys,
do more of what you're born to do.
Barbecue Guys, for those who were born to grill.
You want cheese on your burger, Pops?
I'll take a little cheese.
All right, let's say ah. Super weird, but we can take care of it.
Get in and get better at Patient Plus.
This is SportsCenter.
Russia has freed WNBA star Brittany Griner in a dramatic high-level prisoner exchange, with the U.S. releasing a notorious Russian arms dealer. This ends Griner's nearly 10-month detainment imprisonment in Russia on drug charges. ESPN basketball analyst and LA Sparks forward Janaea Gumake.
We just are so grateful that she is on her way home. She is family to us. We are grateful for those who have worked tirelessly around the clock to make this happen. I think it just reminds us that, the real work, the true work will never go in vain, and that the power of sports collectively, particularly as women, cannot be ignored.
According to ABC News, Griner could arrive in San Antonio either tonight or tomorrow morning. NFL, ESPN's Adam Schefter's reporting if Rams quarterback John Wolford's not healthy enough to play tonight against the Raiders, Baker Mayfield would be in line to start. Rookie Desmond Ridder will replace Marcus Mariota as the Falcons' starting quarterback. Former Cowboys coach Jason Garrett among the finalists for the Stanford head coaching job. Heisman favorite USC quarterback Caleb Williams voted Associated Press College Football Player of the Year.
Coming up on Friday, which team below 500 has the best chance of making the playoffs? Keyshawn, J. Will Max, Friday, 6 a.m. Eastern on ESPN Radio, ESPN2, ESPNU.
Matt Moscona.
I'm very important.
After further review.
Say it one more time.
After further review with Matt Moscona.
And here we go.
ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria. Live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge studios.
Let's ride.
Hour 2, off we go. Welcome aboard. Glad you're with us. AFR, presented by the Aesthetic Medicine and Anti-Aging Clinics of Louisiana. I'm Matt.
This is Shaq O'Neal, and I hate Matt.
Danny Cardenas.
Every time I come around your city, bang, bang. Make it rain, word about it, bang, bang.
Muso. And Mr. Toby Tomplin. All right, we're here. Glad you are as well. Get out there and make it a good one. Paul Nolan, bottom of this hour. Of course, on freewinners.net. We'll get a pick on Thursday night football tonight. Maybe not a great game. Rams, Raiders. We'll see who's playing quarterback for the defending champions. That's all coming up bottom of this hour. Mike Triplett from New Orleans.football will be here in hour number 3. Speaking of New Orleans, a New Orleans native, a guy who played football at LSU, was in an NFL camp this past summer and is now on an XFL roster. Very pleased to be joined by former Tiger national champion Glenn Logan, who jumps aboard here. Glenn, how are you, man?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Man, I'm doing awesome. We appreciate a couple of minutes. The Arlington Renegades pick you in the XFL draft. The uni drops have come out. What do you think, man? Give me a thought first and foremost on the Threads.
Oh, man, I love the baby blue uniforms for one. The white, it's just a great color. I've never been able to play in the blue uniform, so this is my first time ever playing with it. Excited to see what my green hair looks like inside of it.
So you still got the green hair?
Yeah, most definitely.
Is that when did you go to the green hair?
I think like 4 years ago.
Okay. So I know you had it while you were at LSU. Did you have it your whole time at LSU?
No, I had it since my sophomore year at LSU.
So that was 19. It was the championship year.
Yeah.
Oh, man. How much do you credit the championship with your green hair?
Oh, no, I don't think it had anything to do with my green hair. That really just was hard work between all of our guys and me and the coach and staff and everybody.
Glenn, you're a guy who's got a really interesting story, man. You could have left after the COVID year. You gave it another go in 2021, and now you're still, you're chasing that dream in football. Let's talk a little bit about how the XFL opportunity came about. When did this first get on your radar?
Right after I left Cleveland, I was told about the opportunity coming up, and I went to the NFL Alumni Academy for 3 weeks and just trained with Chuck Smith and other great guys. So I learned more about the XFL throughout that time, and then once the draft came, I just knew I was just hoping to get my name called.
So you did get picked by the Arlington Renegades. Former LSU teammate Cam Lewis picked by Arlington as well. Have you all spoken? What's like having a guy there in the locker room that you know?
We haven't spoken much about it, but I know once we really get there and we just connect, I mean, it's going to be really fun. I know Cam. He really works hard. He's a great player. So, I mean, it's going to be really fun just to play with somebody that you know.
Yeah. Your path even since your time at LSU has been interesting because I know you were part of the WWE recruit that NIL process that they had early. What was that like for you going through that experience?
It was great. I got to go to a lot of WWE events, really connect with a lot of great people there, whether it's performers or people who have worked backstage, even Stephanie McMahon. It was just a great experience, and I like to keep that window open just in case.
Wait, so I noticed that you're still on their website because you've got a lot of options. Obviously, you're still on their website there as part of the WWE Recruit program. Is that's still a possibility for? Do you still participate in that?
I haven't really been participating much, but I have my team just keeping that connection open just in case if that's something that I would want to go.
Do you have a finishing move?
No, not yet. I still got to think about that. I don't even have an entrance name, outfit, or, I don't have any of that yet.
Why not?
I'm going to get it soon. Probably something with the Joker, something like that. But
I like the Joker. That's definitely a good way to go. Can the finishing move be something LSU related? Like the Tiger Slam or something like that?
Well, we're going to have to see about that. I'm going to have to think it up about it. I'm going to get really creative about it. I like being really creative.
You don't like it?
I like to show my creativity.
Okay.
So I'll be really creative about it.
Let's talk a little bit about your opportunity there in Arlington with the Renegades. Glenn Logan's with us, former LSU Tiger, was taken in the XFL draft by the Arlington Renegades, so he'll be on the field with Arlington here in this upcoming XFL season. What's your schedule like as far as – because we become so conditioned, Glenn, to like an off-season when it comes to the NFL, like when minicamp and OTAs and all stuff. What's it like in the XFL?
The XFL is kind of different. Right now we're having meetings. We're having Zoom meetings at night. We have a workout program. I'm actually following it with my trainer. And, I mean, it's more of a relaxed type thing. It's more kind of like educational for a lot of guys. So, I mean, it's a great opportunity. I love it. I like how it's really structured. The team, the Renegades, are really a structured team. We meet pretty much every day.
Mm-hmm.
But I love it. It's kind of like a mini NFL.
And look, the games are going to be at what's now Choctaw Stadium. That was Globe Life Park. That was the former baseball stadium for the Rangers there in Arlington, which opened back in 1994. And your coach is Bob Stoops, of course, the legendary Oklahoma coach. Have you gotten to meet Bob Stoops yet?
Not yet. I haven't got to meet him yet.
Did you talk to him during the draft or that whole process?
Yes, I have talked to him. I just haven't got to meet him personally,
Sure.
like face-to-face.
What do you think about the opportunity to play for a guy like Bob Stoops, who surely, I mean, as a college football player, you know who Bob Stoops is?
Oh, yeah. He's a legend, like you said. Bob Stoops has a lot of talent out there at OU, and a lot of great offenses, a lot of great defenses as well. I'm really just excited to join the team and get ready to play.
Arlington Renegades defensive lineman Glenn Logan, former Tiger as well. Hey, I mentioned when we kind of started, Glenn, your story's an interesting one because back in 2019 you had the ankle injury, you battled through that to come back, and you could have left after the COVID year, decided to give it another go. When you look back, what went into your decision to continue plugging away at LSU?
I felt like I didn't leave on a great note after the COVID year, so I wanted to come back and just come back and give it my all one last time. I mean, I had another year eligibility. I wasn't in the rush, so I just really wanted to come back and give it all for my home state.
Do you have, when you look back on your LSU career, which, look, I mean, it's interesting, too, because you had the highs of the greatest team ever and the lows of the COVID year, really the last 2 years. When you think about your time at LSU, how do you describe it?
A roller coaster, honestly. Like you said, we had highs, we had lows, but it was really fun. I learned a lot about myself. I learned a lot about the game, different defenses. It was a great learning experience that I learned at LSU.
Glenn Logan, you'll be seeing him on the field in the XFL coming up here soon with the Arlington Renegades in those baby blue unis, which I got to admit, man, they are kind of sweet, dude.
They're nice.
You got any swag? Have you gotten any Renegades shirts, hats, anything yet?
Not yet. They just got my sizes and stuff, so soon. I should be getting that soon.
Yeah, man. I don't know, dude. I kind of like it. I might snag me a Renegade shirt. I actually really do like that. That's pretty clean.
Man, if you need one, let me know, man. I can always make sure you get one.
Dude, I'll always take free swag. Are you kidding me? I'm a radio guy. We live on free stuff. Glenn Logan, man, we're looking forward to seeing you in Arlington coming up in the XFL season. Best of luck, man. We'll be in touch. Thanks so much for a couple of minutes.
Okay, thank you.
All right, man. Be well. Glenn Logan joining us here for a couple of minutes on AFR. We're brought to you by Hudco Roofing, HudcoRoofing.com. Do business with someone you know, Hudco Roofing, HudcoRoofing.com. Roof repairs, roof replacements, got you covered. Commercial or residential, we got you covered. We're happy to help with a free inspection, a free no-obligation roofing inspection. You go to the website at HudcoRoofing.com. Right there on the homepage, you'll see the form. It'll take you 30 seconds to fill it out. And we'll be in touch with you to schedule that inspection. Or if you'd prefer to talk to someone, cool. My phones are always on. The office line actually forwards to 3 or 4 different people's cell phone, so we make sure that you have a chance to talk to a human being when you call for that inspection or whatever your issue is. 225-364-1007, 364-1007, servicing the entire state of Louisiana. So no matter what nook or cranny of the state you're in, we would love to help you out. 364-1007 or HudcoRoofing.com. Do business with someone you know, Hudco Roofing and HudcoRoofing.com. Okay, appreciate Glenn Logan for a couple of minutes there. Let me knock out a quick break. A lot of quarterback stuff that I want to get to here over the rest of the show. To start next hour, so about 45 minutes from now, mark it down, circle back if you have to leave. But Mel Kiper's latest big board is out, and if you believe Mel Kiper, Jaden Daniels is probably going pro, where he has him on the big board. We're going to get to that next hour. But when we come back, the Falcons have benched Marcus Mariota. So the next time the Saints are on the field, they'll be taking on Desmond Ridder, the rookie from Cincinnati. But also, there's a mock draft out there that has the Saints taking a quarterback in round 2. And I want to talk about that possibility and how it ties in with what the Atlanta's attempting to do with Desmond Ridder coming up a week from Sunday. We'll get to all of that. Glad you're with us here on a Thursday edition of AFR.
AFR.
There it is, the extra mile. On the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further. Like vans customized for work or play. With safety and tech to keep you connected. Supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team. And backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Crime has serious consequences, but anyone can make a mistake. If you find yourself in trouble with the law, know that you have rights, and it's okay to demand them. The law offices of O.C. Brown are here to protect you and your rights. Felony or misdemeanor, DUI or drug charge. No matter what crime you're accused of, you still have rights. Let the law offices of O.C. Brown uphold them. Call 225-343-1111. Your law firm for a lifetime.
Time doesn't stop, and the world keeps spinning. Community, culture, and communications, the powerful circle that connects us together. We're creating the next evolution, a network built for every possibility, moving faster than ever before, streaming us forward into the future. And the revolution is closer than you think. RTC, ATEL, and Vision are now Rev. New name, same company.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
This is a house call. This is a follow-up appointment. This is a diabetes checkup. This isn't just more convenient care, it's more advanced care. This is innovating healthcare at Louisiana's #1 hospital, Ochsner.
Louisiana. It's a place defined by culture, by pride, by passion, by people who do more than love this place. They celebrate it, elevate it, champion it. They are the individuals who embody what makes Louisiana great. The companies that make Louisiana a better place to work and live. The nonprofits leading transformational change in our communities. Champions of Louisiana are all around us, and LWCC is proud to celebrate them because we've always been Louisiana loyal, supporting the workers, the innovators, the change agents of this great place we call home. Who are the champions around you? Together, we can share their stories. Together, we can help our home state thrive. Together, we are
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by the Aesthetic Medicine and Anti-Aging Clinics of Louisiana, Baton Rouge, Lafayette, and online at theantiagingclinics.com. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria.
You got about 12 minutes before they shut down ticket sales. Calandro's 11th annual Rare Whiskey Raffle. It is virtual again. We'll do it from the studio here, and we'll fire it up about 6:30. So AFR will end at 6, and we'll go live here at 6:30 so you can watch. Our friends at Oliver Twist are having a watch party with a bunch of great break-even pours. Great food as well. If you want to get by there, have some fellowship, and enjoy some drinks and watch the raffle, you can do that as well. But ticket sales are cutting off at 4:30 Central, so you got about 12 minutes. So if you're in that area, either Calandro's location, they're Mid-City on Government or the Perkins and Segan location, get on by. We're looking forward to the raffle tonight. So we'll all be here in studio looking forward to it. All right, it's after further review. If you missed the news today, the Falcons have benched Marcus Mariota. Shouldn't come as a great surprise. Had a really nice start to the season. He managed the offense well. Week 6 had an awesome game against the Niners. Completed 93% of his passes, a couple of touchdowns, ran it 6 times for 50 yards. They beat the Niners 28-14. And things were looking pretty good. And then, Marcus Mariota he reverted to the mean, which is what we know at this point in his career what he is. Odd to think the first and second picks in that draft, Winston, Mariota, back-to-back, and where they are right now in their careers, which illustrates drafting a quarterback is a very inexact science. But Falcons have lost 4 or 5. They've scored 20 points just once in that stretch. And now they're going to bench Mariota and go with Desmond Ridder, who was a third-round pick out of Cincinnati. Ridder won 44 games during his time, his 4 years as a starter there with the Bearcats. And they're going to see what they have in Desmond Ridder and if it's something that they can commit to. And there's several reasons why, if you're a Saints fan, this is of interest. Number one, the Saints play the Falcons next week. Both the Saints and the Falcons are on a bye this week. And so next week when they play, it'll be Desmond Ridder's first start against the Saints defense in New Orleans. So that's obviously worth keeping an eye on. The other reason this is very relevant is because if Ridder face plants, the Falcons could very well be in the market for another quarterback. And it's not uncommon to see a team draft a quarterback in consecutive years. The Patriots did it. A year ago, they drafted Mac Jones in round 1. Last year, they drafted Bailey Zappi. So they could certainly do it. I mean, you got to have a quarterback to win at the highest level in this league. And the Falcons are probably trying to figure out if they have one here in Desmond Ridder. And the reason that's relevant to this conversation is because you better believe the Saints are drafting a quarterback in this upcoming draft. And what's interesting is when you look at the draft order or the projected draft order and thinking about what teams ahead of New Orleans are potentially looking to take a quarterback, right? So we know the Saints don't have a first-round pick, but if you look at, and this is if you're watching here, this is all courtesy of Tankathon. They're looking at the draft order based on win percentage as it stands right now. So as it stands right now, Houston, Chicago, Seattle via Denver. Of course, that was the Russell Wilson trade. Detroit via the Rams. That was the Matthew Stafford trade. And then the Eagles via the Saints. That's the trade that they executed last spring. That's your top 5. Carolina, Jacksonville, Arizona, Indy, Atlanta right now would have the 10th pick in the draft as it stands. Green Bay, the Raiders, Houston with a pick from Cleveland, Pittsburgh, Detroit, Chargers, New England, Washington. Anyway, the point is, when you're looking at the draft order, you got to get to the Saints pick in round 2 to see what quarterback might be available for them there in round 2. And as it stands, remember, Miami forfeited their first-round pick, so there's only going to be 31 picks in round 1 this year. So if the Saints have the 5th pick of round 2, that would be the 36th pick in the draft. There's a mock draft that's out today. It's from Draft Wire, and Luke Easterling has the Saints taking, this is one we talked about a couple weeks ago, has the Saints taking Hendon Hooker. So really when I look at it, and by the way, I think unanimously, if you're a Saints fan here today, I'm not sure that there's anybody that would be opposed to the Saints taking Hendon Hooker at number 36 if that's where they pick. You're not going to have a first-round pick. And look at the quarterbacks that are going to be coming off the board early. Young, Stroud, Levis, Richardson. If all the projections are true, right, those are going to be the quarterbacks that come off the board early. So who's looking to take a quarterback? Well, Houston's going to take a quarterback. Chicago's not taking a quarterback. They're committed to Justin Fields. Seattle is likely going to take a quarterback. Detroit could take a quarterback. They got 2 1s, remember. Now, are they committed to Goff? Don't know, but they could take a quarterback. But Houston, Seattle, possibly Detroit. Philly not likely taking a quarterback. Jalen Hurts is an MVP candidate. Carolina, you better believe, is looking at a quarterback. Jacksonville, no. Arizona, no. Indianapolis is certainly going to be looking at a quarterback. That's 5 in the top 9 that are very likely looking at quarterbacks. Atlanta, how does Ridder do? Are they committed to Ridder? Are they looking at another quarterback potentially? Green Bay is good. They want Rodgers back, and obviously they still got a quarterback when Jordan Love backing him up. The Raiders, no. Houston with their second pick. This one from Cleveland, courtesy of the Deshaun Watson trade. Pittsburgh took Kenny Pickett. I mean, so you just go, Chargers are good. New England. Washington could be looking at a quarterback there at 18. What happens with Tampa Bay? They've got Kyle Trask there, but if Brady's back for another year, we'll see. The Jets could be in the mix, but they're looking at the 22nd pick. I guess my point is the Saints, with the 36th pick, man, there's a lot of quarterback-needy teams ahead of the Saints in round one that are going to pick in round one that could very well take quarterbacks. Probably 4 guys are going in round one. Stroud, in whatever order. Stroud, Young, Levis, Richardson. Those 4 are very likely going in round one. So who is still going to be on the board when the Saints pick at 36? So that's really the question. Is it worth, if you are, hypothetically, if you are Washington at 18, do you take Hendon Hooker at 18? If the top 4 guys are all off the board, Young, Stroud, Levis, Richardson, if they're all off the board and Washington's there at 18, are they taking a quarterback at 18? Are they taking Hendon Hooker at 18? Probably not. There's probably not a guy that's worthy of being selected there because you're going to have someone on the board that grades out much higher, and you maybe take your shot at a quarterback later in the draft. So really what it comes down to is sort of resetting to round 2, and you're like, okay, well, if Houston gets their quarterback in round 1 and Seattle gets their quarterback in round 1, and depending on how the draft order finishes, the Saints could have their pick at 36 overall of anybody after those first 4, which very likely would be Hendon Hooker at the top of the list. I'm going to tell you, I get that the injury is a concern for some, but we saw Joe Burrow injured in November. We saw Deshaun Watson tear an ACL in November. Those guys came back from those injuries for the start of the next season. So the way guys have recovered from ACLs, I don't worry as much anymore about that injury for guys at the start of the next season. So the injury isn't necessarily it. For me, it's you got enough game tape on Hendon Hooker from his year at Virginia Tech, the last 2 seasons at Tennessee, to say, do you believe that guy's an NFL quarterback? And if so, is it warranted or is he worthy of the 36th pick? Because for the Saints to dig themselves out of this hole, you're not gonna hit on a quarterback in this free agent class. We've gone through the list, and it's just a hodgepodge of gross. So you've got to do what Philly did and hit on Jalen Hurts in round 2. You got to do what Seattle did and hit on Russell Wilson in round 3. You got to do what Dallas did and hit on Dak in round 4. And in this instance, it's not even that big of a stretch to think if you nail Hendon Hooker at 36, maybe you get your franchise there, and that is your lifeline out of this horrible situation that the New Orleans Saints find themselves in with the coaching staff, the roster, the salary cap, the draft picks, and all of it. So when you spell it out, it's a really good chance that whoever they view as the 5th best quarterback in this draft is going to be on the board for them when they pick at 36. And maybe just maybe that's going to be Hendon Hooker. All right, it's after further review. Could it be Jaden Daniels? Mel Kiper thinks it could be. And we're going to talk about that in about 30 minutes at the start of hour number 3. So make sure you're back here for that conversation if you've missed it. We'll grab a break. We'll come back. Paul Nolan, freewinners.net, joins us. It's AFR.
AFR.
Brought to you by River City's 1 Hour Air, where they're always on time or you don't pay a dime. 752-0001, 752-0001, 752-0001, or 1hourbr.com. Look for the big yellow vans and trucks with the giant clock on the side. Honest to goodness, true story. Today, about 1 o'clock in the afternoon, was driving over to LSU, was going to see Steven Ensminger Jr. The Ruston Bearcats are playing in the Dome for a state championship. Went to go see Steve for a couple of minutes, but I'm pulling up in front of Tiger Stadium. My phone rings. It's 752-0001. Answer the phone. It's River City's 1 Hour Air calling me to schedule my preseason heater safety check. As part of their membership club, they call me twice a year to schedule my standard maintenance, my seasonal maintenance, which is complimentary when you're part of the membership club. So next week, got a tech from River City's 1 Hour Air coming out to the house for my free preseason heater safety check. You need to get yours as well. Save $30 by mentioning the Moscona special when you call 752-0001 for River City's 1 Hour Air. 752-0001.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Oh, hey, what's up? It's Big V and Bubba, 100.7 The Tiger Morning Show. We'd love for you to join us every weekday, 4 a.m. till 9 a.m.
Yeah, everything you want in a show. Country music. We got laughs. We got celebrity in-studio guests. We just need you.
Join us every weekday morning, 4 a.m. to 9 a.m., right where it all started.
That's right. Louisiana's country station, 100.7 The Tiger.
ServiceMaster Elite create clean, disinfected work environments. As a local business, we take pride in serving the New Orleans and Baton Rouge areas. Our cleaning protocols follow CDC and OSHA standards for healthcare settings, offices, senior living, restaurants, and industrial plants. Contact ServiceMaster Elite to get your operation ready for reopening with germ disinfection cleaning. ServiceMaster Elite, the trusted choice in professional cleaning since 1996.
It's no secret. The best oysters in Baton Rouge are at Jolie Pearl Oyster Bar. Enjoy mouth-watering South Louisiana flavor and oysters from all over the country. And don't forget our nightly drink specials. Jolie Pearl Oyster Bar, located in downtown Baton Rouge.
Eli's always been into grilling. It took us a while to see it, but the signs were there.
What are you doing, Eli?
I knew grilling was my thing. I have been talking about it throughout my career.
Happy with the results?
I am. Got the new grill from barbecueguys.com. It performed great.
My advice, as I always told my boys,
do more of what you're born to do.
Barbecue Guys, for those who were born to grill.
You want cheese on your burger, Pops?
I'll take a little cheese.
Le posso offrire un caffè? Andiamo insieme da me.
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by the Aesthetic Medicine and Anti-Aging Clinics of Louisiana, Baton Rouge, Lafayette, and online at theantiagingclinics.com. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria.
All right, let's go to the East Coast. Our buddy Paul Nolan, freewinners.net, jumps aboard with us here. Thursday night football tonight, a great weekend slate in the NFL. And, of course, college football bowl season is here. If you're going to be betting on all the action, check with our guy Paul Nolan over at freewinners.net. Paul, great to talk. Sorry, dude, we missed each other the past couple weeks. I know you were talking to Musso last week while I was traveling. We missed each other for the holiday on Thanksgiving. How are you, man?
I'm doing good, buddy. Between Musso and Moscona, it's like a set from Goodfellas, I was saying. I mean, it's more paisans down there than there's up here in New York.
Hey, if there is any concentration of it, in the country more than up there in New York, it's right here in South Louisiana, man. The culture is strong down here for sure. The vowels are potent. Hey, man, I want to ask you, there's a couple of games that I know you love this weekend that we're going to talk about. But I want to ask a quick thought on Thursday night football because, man, when it comes to the quarterback situation with the Rams, I don't even know how you begin to handicap this game. So what do you like? Yeah. What are you looking at whenever you're trying to break down this game?
For me, I'm watching this game. I'm looking at it, and all I can think to myself is, all right, how's Baker Mayfield going to even remotely run this offense at this point? How simple can they make it? And then you're going against a Raider team that's starting to show a little signs of life defensively. It's a real tough spot here when you think about it. And, there's still a championship mentality over there in the Rams, so I don't think it's just going to be as much of a cakewalk as the public seems to believe it will be. But now they're talking about Wolford is going to start and Mayfield might come in. And, to me, there's so many questions. I can't really make an exact decision on this game until I know exactly what's going to happen. If Mayfield plays or if Wolford plays, I think we'll have a very strong play on this. That's why we're going to tell people if they want to text 313 get info. We definitely have the total. It won't affect us there. But I would hate to give out something, without knowing fully exactly who's going to play tonight. I feel like it would be disingenuous, and it wouldn't be fair to the audience. Sure. But I do think there's a lot of great games this weekend coming up.
Yeah. No, Paul. I mean, I'd rather you not give a pick than give something you didn't feel bullish on. But if you want that total pick, you can get it on the text lines 313 get info. That's 313-438-4636. Again, 313-438-4636. You can text it. Paul will give you that pick for free for the total on Thursday Night Football tonight. But so, Paul, whenever you find out what who is going to start, do you think you will have a play on the spread tonight?
Yes.
Okay, you will.
Yes, so people text free and then hit send to 313. They just have to write the word free, and then we'll know they're a new client. And then as soon as we have our official release, we'll send another pick of the game itself. And then what we'll do is we'll send out picks for Friday, for Saturday, Sunday, and Monday as well. Right. So we'll give people a full weekend pass to let them see what we're really about. The more games people see from us, the better off we all are, because anybody can hit one, anybody can lose one. It's really the longevity of it all that makes such a bigger difference. If you can zoom out and see, wow, these guys hit 64% over the last 3 months, I know there's a viable option.
Hey, man, you've been in fuego with your NFL picks this year. It's been so much fun to follow along, I know, with Jimmy's Football Sunday show and follow when they're at freewinners.net. I want to get a bowl thought here in a second as well, but let's talk about some of the games this weekend that you like as well. Let's start with Minnesota and Detroit. A little bit of a strange line on that one, Paul.
Yeah, it's funny you said that. I can't tell you how many people have said that to me. When I set my lines and I did my numbers based on my EPAs and based on our metrics, I had the game as a pick'em. I didn't think the market would swing this far. I actually could have leaned it to -1 on Detroit, but when the outlaw line was 4 the other way, and then you saw the things swing this far, it felt to me like a little bit of an overreaction because, Detroit's kind of rolling now. People really like what they're seeing from them. Detroit and Goff had, he had 340 yards offense at 116 QBR against Jacksonville. They're really able to do whatever they want, especially Amon-Ra St. Brown. I mean, he was anywhere they needed a first down. He was there. He caught it. I mean, he's a first down making machine. And the Vikings defense last week was the beneficiary of so many self-inflicted wounds from the Jets coaching staff. That was as much coaching malfeasance as I've ever seen. Why are we letting Mike White throw the ball 50 plus times when you're running at 5 yards a clip, especially down on the goal line?
4 plays
so it was
at the
really
one.
A very.
I counted. How did the
by the way,
not get
you
it
could tell I had the Jets last week plus 3.5.
I was with you, man. I was with you.
So, and that's the thing. If you could go back and handicap what you did right and what you did wrong, it's okay to lose a game, but it's not okay to get blown out and not be in it. If you're doing your homework, you should very rarely get blown out unless a severe injury happens or there was some kind of internal issue, like the time when the Colts went into the Patriots and there was the huge fight in the locker room, and then the coaches' firings and quarterbacks were getting scolded. That was a disaster that morning. So that's one of those things where sometimes you just don't know what's happening in the locker room.
So, Paul, when we look at Minnesota, Detroit, I'm looking right now at so it's Vikings +2. Are we looking at? So you said you initially had it as a pick'em.
Yeah, I set that line as a pick'em on my own lines when I do my own numbers, and I saw some places where it was as high as 3. At DraftKings opened up at Minnesota -3, and I jumped on that there. But unfortunately, DraftKings has limits early in the week, so I didn't get a nice bet on that then. But I don't really love that game unless I was getting the 3 points from Minnesota, because Minnesota, like I said, according to my metrics, is essentially a 6-6 team. But you are what your record is, as we know, but you're not in the betting world. My money means more to me. And I can tell you, this Viking team, I don't trust it completely. The secondary has been a disaster. Jacksonville had so many opportunities, last week against the Lions as well. They dropped a bunch of balls. It might have been 8 drops in that game. I think it was officially listed at 7. I thought that I grade a little bit harder because you're a pro. It hit every one of your hands. Catch the ball. I just felt like there was a little bit of an anomaly because we did have the over in the Jaguar Lion game last week. It went over, but Jags didn't hold the end of the bargain, and it really wasn't a matter of anything other than self-inflicted wounds as well. That's why I think this game's going to come back over as well. The line at 53.5 when it opened was too high. The market pushed it down. I'm glad I waited because the public doesn't bet overs as much as they had this year because the under market has been very strong. And I've made my living on unders throughout my career because, they're always overinflated. But I do think at 51, this is a good number to go over on this game. You got to shop for 51. I like that number because I really can't see this thing not going over on that fast track. And both these teams have strength on weakness in this one, offensively to defensively.
All right, Paul likes over 51 in the Minnesota-Detroit game. What about Baltimore and Pittsburgh, Paul?
So now that's a great point. I'm glad you brought that up. The only reason why is because that's part of a teaser bet for me with this game. I ended up using Minnesota when it was plus 2.5, and I bought it up to 8.5 on a 6-point teaser. And I did the same thing with Baltimore. Baltimore for me is a team that plays all these tight games. I think that I don't think it's going to be very difficult for, Huntley to run this offense. We've seen him do it last year. The EPAs weren't that far off when you think about what they did last year when Lamar got hurt. Lamar wasn't playing incredibly well at the time, so it did kind of, it narrowed the margins. But when I see what Baltimore does well, and what I see what they do poorly, I think I can't help but believe that both of these teams kind of mirror each other in a hate fest. These teams we know hate each other, right? I mean, this has the feel of one of those old schools, late 90s, early 2000s fist fights, and you can't help but believe this is going to be a tight of low totals when they go through, 3 and 7. So here you have an opportunity to go from plus 2.5 on this game as well for Baltimore, all the way up to plus 8.5, and you cut through 2 like prime numbers. What I've seen with Pickett, he's gotten better 5 straight games. His QBR keeps going up. He's continuously, getting to his second and third reads. He's getting better protection. The offensive line has only given up 104 pressures on the year and 485 dropbacks. And it's been better with Pickett because he is reading defense and he is, he's getting the ball out of his hands quicker than Trubisky had. And I like, as much as I like what this Raven team is doing defensively with Roquan Smith, they haven't given more than 50 yards rushing. The EPAs on their rush success has been outstanding. Both teams need to run to survive. Both teams live on it to survive. I can't help, based on pace of play, to believe that this game isn't going to be tight. The total is so low. There is weather involved in this game a little bit. That's why I think it's a perfect opportunity for Baltimore to be connected in a teaser plus 8.5, along with Minnesota Vikings, who love to play these close games, and they're always in it in the fourth quarter down the stretch. I mean, every one of their wins has been a 1-score game, so I'll take the 2-score 8.5 on that.
All right, teaser there for Paul. Paul, you hit on the teaser last weekend with the Giants and the Bengals, which ended up being a great play as well. So, Paul, before and by the way, if you want tonight's pick on the total, text the word free to 313-GET-INFO. That's 313-438-4636. You'll get tonight's game for free. And then, Paul, and the games this weekend as well, Paul?
Yeah, absolutely. It's going to be a free pass for the whole weekend, no one to talk to, and it will be both games. So it'll be the game and the total tonight. As soon as we know who the quarterback officially is, when it's absolutely set in stone, and there's no chance for any kind of changes in the in the warm-ups, that's when we'll send another pick out to everybody. And that's what's nice about these automated text machines. It's just so great. I can just put it in once and send it to everybody at once, and it makes it very, very easy on our staff.
All right, 313-GET-INFO. That's 313-438-4636. Text the word free, and you'll get the picks there from Paul. Paul, one more thing before you jump. I'm curious how you handicap bowl games, especially when there's so many opt-outs and you don't know who's going to be there, who's going to play, who's interested. How do you and your staff work through all of that during bowl season?
Well, it's really important to know the real true value of each individual player. If you don't know the individual value of every individual player, you really can't, make these decisions at all. You really shouldn't be betting at all, to be completely honest. But, I know a lot of people like to do it as a hobby and for fun, but we do it for a business. And if you're not taking your money seriously, someone's going to, blow it for you. So just trust me on this. If you don't really know, don't make a move. And when you see these star players opt out because their career is on the line, you have to know how much better they are than their replacement player. And some people think that there's no value in the replacement player. And there are times where you see these 5-star recruits step in, and next thing you know, they're running for 223 yards. The offense was going to be built around them the year later anyhow. So, for me, there are times where you can find phenomenal values in the bowl games. And that's one of the things we pride ourselves on is finding value. But our bowl package every year has been outstanding. It's been lights out.
He is Paul Nolan from freewinners.net. Of course, you can get your free picks tonight. You get the spread and the total tonight, and then the plays this weekend as well. Text the word free to 313 get info. That's 313-438-4636. Paul did give us the over 51 on Minnesota Detroit, and then a teaser with Baltimore and Minnesota. Paul, we appreciate it as always, man. Good luck tonight. We'll look forward to talking again next week.
Always a pleasure, brother. Thanks for having me on. I appreciate your audience very much.
It's our pleasure. That's Paul Nolan, freewinners.net. Dude's hitting at like a 65% clip this season. He has been on fire with his NFL picks. And the other thing I really like about Paul is he's not going to give a game just to give it. Like you just heard him say there. Like he's not giving out the spread as a play until he knows who's playing quarterback. Like I respect that a lot, man. If you're going to have people who are using your service, you want to make sure that you're delivering for them, and he does that. I've gotten to know Paul. I like him a lot, man. I think he does an awesome job, and boy, he delivers winners too. So freewinners.net. You text the word free. Text the word free, F-R-E-E, to 313 get info. That's 313-438-4636. All right, we're brought to you by Shaw Bills Tire and Auto Service, ShawBillsTire.com. Bumper to bumper auto service and name brand tires at wholesale prices. You know where to find them. That's at Shaw Bills. Go to ShawBillsTire.com to find the location nearest you. Or if you want to look at all of the different specials that they have, you could work them out right now at ShawBillsTire.com. If you're in the market for tires, listen, we all got to buy tires at some point. You drive a car, you got tires. And at some point, your tires are going to wear down. You're going to need new ones. So you can go to the box store or the membership clubs or other tire stores, but you're going to pay more at all those places. Shaw Bills is going to work hard to get you the best tire on the road for the cheapest price possible. Right now, they got their 25 days of Christmas promotion, 25 days of Christmas savings. Go to ShawBillsTire.com, hit the promotions tab, and you'll see the 25 days of Christmas savings. Great specials on tires and also, of course, on any on a lot of their services as well. So check them out there at ShawBillsTire.com. That's ShawBillsTire.com. Shaw Bills, where we keep you rolling. All right, it's after further review. We'll knock out our final break here of hour number 2. Muso will have Tigers and the pros to wrap it up in about 15 minutes from right now. Could Jaden Daniels be a first-round draft pick this year? Maybe, just maybe. We'll explain next. AFR.
AFR.
Brought to you by Pluckers, Nicholson, Bluebonnet, dine-in, carry-out, or delivery. Thursday night football tonight. You know where to get. Get by and watch it over at Pluckers, either location, Nicholson or Bluebonnet. Raiders, Rams, you're going to be watching the game. Why not watch it at Pluckers? Every Thursday, remember, every Thursday is all-you-can-eat boneless buffalo bites. So these are the bite-size, white meat, chicken breast, breaded, fried, tossed in your favorite wing sauce, and you can eat as many of them as you want all night long for one low price. That's every Thursday at Pluckers, either location, Nicholson or Bluebonnet. So get on by. See my guy, Stevie Levy, the king of the wing. Eat some boneless buffalo bites or traditional wings if that's your flavor. Watch the Raiders, and the Rams from SoFi. You also got a full night of NBA games as well. So why not watch it all, bet on it all, enjoy award-winning jumbo chicken wings, ice-cold draft beer, a full-service bar, and sports on TV. It's at Pluckers, where if you don't like our wings, we'll give you the bird.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast office products.
Bayou Ford has the new inventory to get you in a new Ford truck or SUV today, or customize your next vehicle just the way you want. All new Bayou Ford vehicles come with a 1 million mile powertrain warranty. The crew at Bayou Ford is going to do right by you.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
I'm Chris Nakamoto, and here's what I'm working on for my stories on WBRZ Channel 2 tonight. Baton Rouge police issued an arrest warrant for the father of a 1-year-old who overdosed on fentanyl. Charles Lee is wanted for negligent homicide and cruelty to juveniles. Following Jari Paul's death, Baton Rouge police have not been able to get in touch with him. Where investigators think he might be, I'm Chris Nakamoto. Join us for those stories and more tonight on WBRZ Channel 2.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Crime has serious consequences, but anyone can make a mistake. If you find yourself in trouble with the law, know that you have rights, and it's okay to demand them. The law offices of O.C. Brown are here to protect you and your rights. Felony or misdemeanor, DUI or drug charge. No matter what crime you're accused of, you still have rights. Let the law offices of O.C. Brown uphold them. Call 225-343-1111. Your law firm for a lifetime.
After further review with Matt Moscona. Presented by the Aesthetic Medicine and Anti-Aging Clinics of Louisiana, Baton Rouge, Lafayette, and online at theantiagingclinics.com. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria.
All right, wrapping up hour number 2, Calandro's Rare Whiskey Raffle, the 11th annual. All the proceeds benefiting the 4Kids Foundation and St. Lillian Academy. We'll fire it up at about 6:30 Central Time, so looking forward to doing it from right here in studio, virtual again. So ticket sales, I believe, should be cut off by now. We'll have a tally on total amount raised, and thanks to everybody who participates. Looking forward to a great night tonight. All right, right now, Muso, Tigers in the pros.
Tigers in the pros. They still bleed purple and gold. They're just really rich now. Presented by Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry. Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry, where Baton Rouge gets engaged.
Ben Simmons missed his 4th straight game last night for the Brooklyn Nets with a calf strain and knee soreness. But Ben is still on track, according to the Nets, to make his return on Friday when they host the Hawks. That is in accordance to what Ben said earlier in the week as well after Tuesday's practice, and he is on track there. We'll keep you posted. Minnesota Timberwolves last night. Naz Reid for the T-Wolves. Solid night off the bench. 12 minutes, 6 points off 3 of 5 shooting, 7 rebounds in the game as well. +4 for Naz and the T-Wolves. They got another win. To the G League.
He should have stayed.
He should have stayed. He wouldn't be coming off the bench if he stayed. I mean, he'd be starting. That's just fact.
What? Naturally.
Oh, natural. Oh,
Natch.
Okay. Don't do that. I don't like that. Skylar Mays for the Delaware Bluecoats last night in the G League. 15 minutes for Skylar. 9 points in the game. 2 assists and 2 rebounds. Shot 3 of 5 from the floor. It was not a great outcome for the Bluecoats, though. Continuing in the G League, the
Bluecoats.
Yeah,
What's a Bluecoat?
Somebody in Delaware. They lost to Long Island, but they're just the Nets. They don't have a good mascot. The Rio Grande Valley Vipers, that's where you find Darius Days. Another double-figure effort for Darius Days. 10 points last night off 4 of 11 shooting in 30 minutes of action. 5 rebounds, 1 assist, and 1 steal for Darius Days.
The first Delaware Regiment soldiers
were
who were instrumental in the American Revolution and distinguished by their blue garb.
Hey, there you go.
There it is.
Makes sense.
There it is.
NBA action tonight. The Houston Rockets, they visit the San Antonio Spurs. Keep an eye out for Tari Eason. He's played in all 24 games for the Spurs, averaging 8 points and leading that team with just over a steal per game. The Trailblazers, they host the Nuggets. Trendon Watford is your guy to keep an eye out for there. He's played in 15 games, averaging 5 points for the Blazers. And then in NFL action tonight, the Raiders and the Rams. The player you're most likely to see, that's Foster Moreau for Las Vegas. He is 4th on the team in receiving. That's Tigers in the Pros.
I got my what we learned. The Delaware Bluecoats.
Oh, the Delaware Bluecoats, yes.
Brought to you by Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry. Gentlemen, thrill her this Christmas with a gift from Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry in the little red box. LMFJ.com. That's LMFJ.com for Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry. Okay, we'll knock out a quick break. Sports Center. Is Jaden Daniels a first-round pick? We'll talk about it. It's AFR.
AFR.
Brought to you by South Point Volkswagen. SouthPointVW.com. New and certified pre-owned in Baton Rouge and online at SouthPointVW.com. SouthPointVW.com. The all-new Volkswagen ID4, the all-electric SUV, the first electric SUV for everyone. It's the ID4 from Volkswagen, and you can reserve yours right now at SouthPointVW.com. Build it out with your specifications and make that reservation today at SouthPointVW.com. That's SouthPointVW.com. New and certified pre-owned in Baton Rouge and online at SouthPointVW.com. Search by year, make, model, body style, price. It's all there for you at the website. You realize the average car buyer visits 1.2 dealerships before making a purchase. Why? Everybody shops online now, even for vehicles. So get to the website there at South Point Volkswagen. You can search all of their different models, the 9 IIHS top safety picks, Louisiana's largest volume Volkswagen dealer. South Point Volkswagen.
Three people walk into a bar. The first two order the same old margs. The third, Nuevo Topo Chico Margarita Hard Seltzer. Crafted with real lime juice and a crisp tequila flavor. Topo Chico Margarita Hard Seltzer.
There it is, the extra mile. On the border of expected and extraordinary. For those willing to go further. Like vans customized for work or play. With safety and tech to keep you connected. Supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team. And backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
We get it done with strength, commitment, dedication, grit.
Let's go, defense!
We get it done with passion for our fans
and love for our community.
We are the Tigers.
Get it done.
Let the values of the purple and gold be in your starting lineup this season. And as always, get it done.
Time doesn't stop, and the world keeps spinning. Community, culture, and communications, the powerful circle that connects us together. We're creating the next evolution, a network built for every possibility, moving faster than ever before, streaming us forward into the future. And the revolution is closer than you think. RTC, ETEL, and Vision are now Rev. New name, same company.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
This is a house call. This is a follow-up appointment. This is a diabetes checkup. This isn't just more convenient care, it's more advanced care. This is innovating healthcare at Louisiana's #1 hospital, Ochsner.
This is SportsCenter.
I'm Christine Lisi. Russia has freed WNBA star Brittany Griner in a dramatic high-level prisoner exchange, with the U.S. releasing a notorious Russian arms dealer. This ends Griner's 10-month detainment imprisonment in Russia on drug charges. According to ABC News, she could arrive in San Antonio either tonight or tomorrow morning. Raiders tonight seek a 4th straight win and continue their push for a playoff spot when they take on the Rams in the opening game of NFL Week 14. Couple of reasons why Vegas has bounced back from a 2-7 start and could get into the playoffs, says Canty and Carlin co-host Chris Canty.
You're getting the return on investment with Devontae Adams. I think he just went over his 7th 100-yard receiving game on the year. That's what you traded for that guy for. Josh Jacobs finally fulfilling some level of promise that they had when they took him in the first round 4 years ago.
Chris Canty on Greeny. ESPN's Adam Schefter reports if Rams quarterback John Wolford's not healthy enough to play, Baker Mayfield would be in line to start. Mayfield claimed off waivers 2 days ago. Rookie Desmond Ridder will replace Marcus Mariota as the Falcons' starting quarterback the rest of the season.
ESPN Radio is presented by Progressive Insurance. Progressive Commercial Insurance can protect your small business with over 30 coverage options, an easy-to-use mobile app, personalized discounts, and more. Get a quote in as little as 6 minutes at progressivecommercial.com. Discounts and coverage selections not available in all states or situations.
Matt Moscona.
I'm very important.
After further review.
Say it one more time.
After further review with Matt Moscona.
And here we go.
ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria. Live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge studios.
That's right.
Hour 3, off we go. Welcome aboard. Glad you're with us. AFR, presented by the Aesthetic Medicine and Anti-Aging Clinics of Louisiana. Matt.
Love you, Matt.
Danny Cardenas.
Every time I come around your city, bang, bang. Make it rain, word about anything.
Mayuso. And Mr. Toby Tomplay. All right, we're here. Glad you are as well. 5 o'clock quitting time. Glad you're driving home with us. Mike Triplett in 15 minutes from right now. Oh, would you mind texting Mike? Just a confirmation we're calling in 15 minutes. Please, if you would. Thank you. We get your portal update at the bottom of this hour as well. There seems to be a conflicting number of LSU players in the portal. So Muse and I were earlier today running through the list, and it was like, is it 7? Is it 8? We're listing them all off. And so we listed 8, correct? So we had, as we listed it, and this is at the Bengal Tiger on 3, it's Jack Besh, Demarius McGee, Raydarius Jones, Cole Taylor, Desmond Little, Phillip Webb, Antoine Sampa. That's 7. And then Colby Fields jumped in the portal today as well, which makes 8. But there are people texting me saying there's 9, so who am I missing potentially if there is a 9th? Have we figured this out?
No. I mean, no. And it's not just us missing. If there's a 9th, it ain't just us missing it. It's everybody.
Okay.
Because every site has 8.
Oh, man. People are saying there's 9. I got 8. I got 8. Unless there's some. I mean, look, we also saw today Mekhi Garner accepted an invite to the East-West Shrine game. Somebody else accepted an invite to one of the bowl games. I'm trying to think of what it is. But Garner
Jay Ward
was yesterday. But Garner's interesting because, and look, he went through Senior Day festivities, but he's a guy that had the opportunity to come back as a super senior if he wanted to, and certainly it would help LSU tremendously. But obviously his career is over. He's going pro. Okay. The biggest decision that LSU is waiting on right now, regardless of how you feel about it, I don't care, is what is Jaden Daniels going to do? Is he going to return to LSU and play a 5th season of college football? Or is Jaden Daniels going to go pro? I guess there remains the possibility also that if he wants to, he could transfer and play another season elsewhere. I don't know that that would necessarily make sense. But this, for me, it was really interesting because we've talked about it a lot. And Daniels and his, not only his draft potential, but where he would go this year if he came back for another season, what would next year look like if he did come back. And maybe the reason this has become even more interesting is because there's such a seeming divide among LSU fans. There are a lot of people who are very high on Garrett Nussmeier at the start of the season. You all know, full disclosure, of course, that I was a guy that told you from the beginning. I thought Jaden Daniels was going to start. The coaching staff brought him here. They wanted a mobile quarterback. It just made sense. They knew the guys they had. When a lot of you thought it would be Brennan, and then a lot of you thought it would be Nussmeier. I mean, all along my feeling was Jaden Daniels was going to win this job, and he did. And I think undeniably you can say, yes, there is absolutely room for improvement for Daniels. I think similarly you would also have to acknowledge there is no shot this team is 9-3 and your SEC Western Division champions without Jaden Daniels. But he's got a decision to make, and Mel Kiper's new big board is out, and he ranks the top 25 players in the draft and then ranks everybody by position as well. And this is where it gets interesting because when he lists his top 10 quarterbacks for this draft, he's moved Will Levis up to number 1, which that maybe makes me question Mel's credibility here because Will Levis may physically have what you want from the quarterback spot. He was not good this year. Will Levis just had a very bad season. Bryce Young, C.J. Stroud, Anthony Richardson, 4th best quarterback in this draft. And then how about Jaden Daniels, number 5? Mel Kiper has Jaden Daniels, the 5th best quarterback in this draft, ahead of Hendon Hooker, Jaron Hall from BYU, Jake Haener from Fresno State, Stetson Bennett 9th, and then Tanner McKee from Stanford 10th. And then those that just kind of missed the cut, he puts Bo Nix, Max Duggan, and then Tyson Bagent from Shepherd, who apparently I learned is the all divisions career touchdown passing leader. Anyway, for what that's worth. But Mel Kiper rates Jaden Daniels as the 5th best quarterback in this draft. Now, keep in mind, a year ago, the 5th quarterback taken in the draft last year was Bailey Zappi, who went in round 4. In 2021, the 5th quarterback taken in the draft was Mac Jones, who went in round 1. So in many instances, where a quarterback is taken depends on 2 things. Number 1, how many talented quarterbacks are there in the draft? And number 2, how many teams need a quarterback who is looking to draft a quarterback? And that's why the conversation that we had this conversation earlier, which I find to be fascinating, which is how many teams like above because we're talking about the Saints potentially taking Hendon Hooker, with the 36th overall pick there at the top of round 2. And so I'm looking going, okay, how many teams ahead of New Orleans would be looking for a quarterback? So just look at round 1 and say, okay, who could be in the mix for a quarterback? I mean, this is, Tankathon has the draft order as it sits today, but Houston is a yes. Houston's drafting a quarterback. Chicago, no. Seattle, yes. Detroit, maybe, but probably not if they're good with Goff right now. Philly, no. Carolina, you better believe Carolina's taking a quarterback. Jacksonville, no. Arizona, no. Indy, yes, needs a quarterback. Atlanta, depends on what happens with Desmond Ridder, but we'll say no for now. Green Bay, no. The Raiders, no. Pittsburgh, no. The Chargers, no. New England, no. Washington is very, would we say yes? What do you think, Muse? Jump in here. Help me with this as we go back and forth. Would you say yes with Washington? Would Washington be in the mix to draft a quarterback this year?
I think so, yes.
You would think so. Okay, I would agree with you there because they've got Carson Wentz and then they've got Taylor Heineke as well. But if you have the opportunity to draft who you think could be a franchise, I think you do it. Tampa is probably a no. Tom Brady's a free agent, but they drafted Kyle Trash. Or maybe would they?
I mean,
at 19?
They have no idea what they have in Kyle Trask there. They hadn't played. So, I mean, that's an interesting one.
At 19, would Tampa be in the mix for a quarterback?
I think so, yeah.
All right, so we can put Tampa there. Seattle, who we already talked about, that's our second first-round pick. Tennessee,
no.
Tennessee's a no. I don't know. Can you look up the contract situation for Ryan Tannehill? I don't know his contract situation.
They have a guy from Liberty,
oh, that's
too,
right, Malik Willis. That's right,
Willis.
of course.
Yeah.
Of course, Malik Willis. So they're a no. They're absolutely a no. The Jets would certainly be a team, right? I mean, like,
yeah.
Are you committed to Zach Wilson?
Clearly
they're not committed to Zach Wilson. The Giants are an interesting one there as well. Like, could the Giants be in the market for a quarterback?
I think so.
I agree with you. Miami forfeited their pick. Denver, Baltimore, Cincinnati, Dallas, Kansas City, Minnesota, Buffalo, and then Philly. Again, those are all no's. Obviously, those are the best teams in the league. They're settled at quarterback. So the exercise we just did, that's 8 quarterback needy teams, not counting the Saints because they don't have a first-round pick. So really 9 teams in the NFL, 8 of whom pick in round 1, are potentially or certainly looking at a quarterback. So when you look at a year like this, where we all agree, like if you look at anybody's mock draft, there's a consensus. Levis, Young, Stroud, Richardson are all first-rounders. You got 4. Well, if you've got 9 teams that are quarterback needy, does anybody see Hendon Hooker or Jaden Daniels, or run through the list that Mel Kiper had up there? Does anybody see any of those guys as potential first-rounders? That's where it comes to when you go to the combine, can you show out? When you have your pro day, can you show out? When you answer questions, can you show out? Like before the Senior Bowl, I don't know that I read a mock draft that had Josh Allen am I wrong? I don't know that I read a mock draft before the Senior Bowl that had Josh Allen as a first-round pick. He went to the Senior Bowl. He was the star of the week. He becomes a first-rounder. Now he's one of the best quarterbacks in football. That happens where guys use the post. This happened with Derek Stingley a year ago. There were so many questions about Stingley. Remember there were reports about Stingley dropping out of round 1, all that stuff. So don't worry about it. He's going to go to the combine. He's going to run. He's a great kid. He's going to answer all the questions that everybody has about him. He's going to go high. And he did, 3rd overall. Could Jaden Daniels do that? Maybe. I'm not definitively saying Jaden's going to be a first-round pick, but don't think Mel Kiper's just plucking that from the air, man. I mean, that's a guy who's plugged in, who's done this for 40 years as far as draft analysis. He's looked at players. He's using info that he's getting from scouts and teams as well. And he's got Jaden Daniels listed as the 5th best quarterback in this draft. And when you look at 9 teams potentially that could be looking to take a quarterback, a potential franchise-type player in this draft, teams reach on quarterbacks. I mean, E.J. Manuel was a first-round quarterback. Mitchell Trubisky went 3rd overall after doing nothing at North Carolina. I mean, do we need to run through the Christian Ponders? Who was the long-haired guy from Missouri that went first? Oh, that went in round 1. Do you remember? You know what I'm talking about? I think it was that same draft with Ponder in it. My point is, teams reach for quarterbacks. I'm not telling you that I think Jaden Daniels should be a top 15 pick or a first-round pick today. What I'm telling you is, I think for a lot of LSU, it's interesting because for a lot of LSU fans, it's interesting how many fans discredit their own, where there are only 4 players in the history of LSU football that have accounted for 3,000 yards in a season. It's Rohan Davey, it's Jamarcus Russell, who went 1st overall, it's Joe Burrow, who went 1st overall, and Jaden Daniels. He accounted for 65% of your offense. This is not even debatable. Without Jaden Daniels, you are not 9-3. Jaden Daniels won you the Ole Miss game. He threw for 300 yards in the Florida game. He ran for 100 yards against Mississippi State. You can certainly focus on the duds. Auburn, Arkansas, those were duds. Sure. He had a lot more really dynamic games. And when you look at the way the quarterback position is going in the NFL, teams want mobile guys that can move the pocket, make plays with their feet. I mean, look at Patrick Mahomes. Look at Josh Allen. Look at Lamar Jackson. Look at Jalen Hurts. That's what the league is becoming. And Jaden Daniels fits that profile. So, I thought it was fascinating to see because it's independent third-party validation that's a guy that NFL teams are going to like. They're going to like a lot. The bigger question, of course, the question is, what does Jaden do? Is he going pro? Is he coming back? And then subsequently, the big question is, when does he make that decision? Because remember, the deadline to enter the draft isn't until January the 20th. So it's 18 days after the bowl game that the draft deadline comes. So does Jaden Daniels rehab that ankle, get healthy, play in the bowl game, then make a decision? By that point, you're nearing the end of the portal window closing, and you got to make a decision on what's going to happen with Jaden, with Nussmeier. Are you seeking another quarterback in the portal, or people coming back? It's a very complicated circumstance for Brian Kelly. So you'd love to have that decision quicker, but it may be something that Jaden's going to take his time and map out. So also of interest on that Kuiper big board, where he listed the top 10 players at every position, only B.J. Ojulari, aside from Jaden Daniels, B.J. Ojulari at outside linebacker was the only other player he listed. No Jay Ward, no Jaquelin Roy, no Ali Gay. Disappointing for the seniors, but maybe some evidence that you could get a guy like Jaquelin Roy and some of his other underclassmen back. Okay, it's after further review. Glad to have you aboard with us here. Quick break. Mike Triplett's next. Stay here.
AFR.
We're brought to you by the Baton Rouge General Hospital, brgeneral.org, brgeneral.org. The Baton Rouge General Hospital, expanding healthcare in Baton Rouge. Of course, you got the Bluebonnet campus, the Mid-City location, the Pennington Cancer Center, the Regional Burn Center, the Ascension Neighborhood Hospital. For the first time ever, there's emergency care in Ascension Parish. That's the Baton Rouge General Hospital. I'll tell you about the Express Care locations as well. Walk-in, urgent care, 7 days a week. You can check in or get wait times on the app as well. It's at the Baton Rouge General Hospital. And during the holidays, brightening up our holiday in a very literal sense with the holiday lights at the Baton Rouge General. You're driving down Bluebonnet, you can't miss it, especially at nighttime when it's all lit up and gorgeous. You want to go be merry and bright and experience the holiday season, you can do so with holiday lights at the Baton Rouge General. Great for the whole family to walk through and enjoy the holiday spirit. It runs all the way through New Year's Eve. It's holiday lights at the Baton Rouge General Hospital. You can get more info online at brgeneral.org. That's brgeneral.org.
Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram has $11,000 off MSRP plus 2.9% with 72 months on all new 2022 Ram Black Widow trucks in stock. All new Bayou vehicles come with a 1 million mile powertrain warranty and free delivery. If you need sales or service, the crew at Bayou is going to do right by you.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
Louisiana. It's a place defined by culture, by pride, by passion, by people who do more than love this place. They celebrate it, elevate it, champion it. They are the individuals who embody what makes Louisiana great. The companies that make Louisiana a better place to work and live. The nonprofits leading transformational change in our communities. Champions of Louisiana are all around us, and LWCC is proud to celebrate them because we've always been Louisiana loyal, supporting the workers, the innovators, the change agents of this great place we call home. Who are the champions around you? Together, we can share their stories. Together, we can help our home state thrive. Together, we are Louisiana loyal. Always.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Oh, hey, what's up? It's Big D and Bubba, 100.7 The Tiger Morning Show. We'd love for you to join us every weekday, 4 a.m. till 9 a.m.
Yeah, everything you want in a show. Country music. We got laughs. We got celebrity in-studio guests. We just need you.
Join us every weekday morning, 4 a.m. to 9 a.m., right where it all started.
That's right. Louisiana's country station, 100.7, The Tiger.
Service Master Elite create clean, disinfected work environments. As a local business, we take pride in serving the New Orleans and Baton Rouge areas. Our cleaning protocols follow CDC and OSHA standards for healthcare settings, offices, senior living, restaurants, and industrial plants. Contact Service.
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by the Aesthetic Medicine and Anti-Aging Clinics of Louisiana, Baton Rouge, Lafayette, and online at theantiagingclinics.com. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria.
Mike!
Yeah?
Saints coverage with some Mad Libs mixed in.
Why don't you just go by Mike?
It's time to talk black and gold with Mike Triplett of New Orleans Football, presented by Benny's Car Wash, family owned and operated since 1951.
Listening to Be Like Mike is better than talking about the Saints these days, but alas, we must. Mike Triplett, New Orleans Football, joins us as he does every Thursday. How are you, man?
Oh, I'm doing pretty well. We were very close to not having such a downer of it.
Yeah.
Talking about this season they didn't really deserve, but still had coming for 4 weeks. But alas, they were like the living embodiment of Lucy pulling the football out.
Yeah. Is this rock bottom, or is there still more to go?
Well, I don't think anything can hurt as bad anymore because there's nothing to hope for anymore. I mean, because of the weird NFC South, we were legitimately watching that game thinking, oh my gosh, this team might be in first place when they host the Falcons in 2 weeks. But now that there's no playoffs to hope for, I don't think you can get your hopes up enough to let anything else be as bad the rest of the way.
Yeah. So, okay, then what is on the table after the bye over the final 4 weeks?
Well, I would say that, you got to make sure the team doesn't completely mutiny on Dennis Allen, and they're going to evaluate Dennis Allen. But, I think he's done a pretty good job of that up till now, but I think it's going to be impossible for guys not to check out at this point.
Yeah.
I don't think you can evaluate the job Dennis Allen or the coaching staff is doing in any way, really, based on what happens over the next 4 games. I think they have to make those decisions based on what's already happened and how much blame they think goes to the coaching staff or what areas they think change is needed. I don't really think the coaching staff can do anything in December and January that changes their fate either way. I don't know exactly what Mickey Loomis and Gail Benson and Dennis Lauscher are thinking, but I would imagine that if we don't see them consider replacing Dennis Allen, that I think there's one way or another, I think we're going to see major changes on offense, possibly offensive coordinator and quarterback being high on the priority list for next season. So I do wonder if we're going to see Jameis Winston, though. That is someone that does need to be evaluated. If we don't see Jameis Winston over the final 4 weeks, I think that would signal they've already made up their mind.
Do they make the quarterback change?
I don't think Andy Dalton was the problem in these last 2 games, and I don't think his performance alone would get him benched, quote unquote. But you will see Jameis Winston if they decide we're out of the playoff race now, and we need to get a look at Jameis Winston because we've got major decisions to make with him. I think that would be the only thing that gets him back on the field. And so I'd say there's definitely a chance of that, unless, like I said, they've already made up their mind that they're planning to part ways now.
Which it feels like, quite honestly, Mike, that they have. Again, I don't know anything. That's just an outside looking in. You're at this awful spot and you haven't made the change. It certainly feels like that's the direction they're going. But if we look at Jameis's contract, what would that mean for this team if they decide they're moving on?
Well, I wish I had that up in front of me right now to give you the exact numbers, but it's not it's not a killer contract. There would be dead money, obviously, associated with releasing him. And that's true of releasing or trading any number of players if they decide to rebuild, from Alvin Kamara to Michael Thomas to, DeMario Davis to, you name it. Dead money will be associated, but dead money is one thing, and paying more money that, will be on the books is another thing. And Jameis Winston, I believe, is due $14 million this year. And so a small portion of that might be guaranteed, but I don't think it is. So, that's $14 million they save over the long haul. And since there's cap carryover every year, saving $14 million means saving $14 million, even if you have to eat some dead money. So they will not keep him they won't keep him for financial reasons. They will only keep him if they want to pay him another $14 million and want him to be their starting quarterback going into next season.
Mike Triplett's with us, NewOrleans.football. Do you think the Saints will use a quarterback with their first pick of round 2?
No, I don't think they'll force that pick, because I think it's bad business to force a pick like that. I think any quarterback that goes with the 40th pick of the draft or whatever that is probably a quarterback who has a 4th round grade. You really have to, you very often have to leapfrog your own grades to take a quarterback. However, I think quarterback is number one priority. So if they get a high pick from Sean Payton, or if they have the 38th pick in the draft and they package that with another pick and move up, then I absolutely think that the future of this franchise is practically predicated on them eventually finding a rookie that they can groom and develop while paying little money to him. So in one of these upcoming drafts, they're going to have to find a quarterback.
Mike, it's so weird, man. For 15 years plus, we're talking about how the Saints get in the playoffs. Can they make a run? What do they need to improve on? And now with 4 games to go, we're not. I mean, there's just not. It's not a realistic or interesting conversation. So, what are you talking about?
And in a year with no first round draft pick,
right,
which is just the all time double whammy.
So, what are you talking about? Like, what are you writing about? Like, what's interesting to you?
Well, you asked a few of the questions, and that's actually what I'm start next week off with is what are we looking at over the final 4 weeks? What's worth looking at? And I'm going to start with coaching staff, and I'm going to start with quarterback as the top 2 topics. Lesser topics are, what are they going to do when Pete Werner comes back with Caden Ellis and Pete Werner and DeMario Davis, and what does that mean for DeMario Davis' future? What are they going to do with Alante Taylor and Paulson and Debo? And what are their plans for them for the future? So a couple things like that, but for the most part, it's the major decisions. It's coach, it's offensive coordinator, and it's quarterback. I mean, there are other things we're going to talk about this offseason, but this franchise is directionless until we know what they're doing with those 3.
Yeah. Okay. Well, let's talk about the staff. I do want to ask, in covering the team for as long as you have, do you believe that they would move on from a coach after 1 season?
I don't think that's their MO to be overly impatient. I don't think they're I think what's interesting, and we've talked about this a lot on the pod already, and we'll talk about it a lot more, but you can develop a relationship for being a bad organization that no one wants to come for if you don't show any patience. And we already know that the Raiders have the worst reputation in the league, and that young Sean Payton, turned down the opportunity to go work for the Raiders because of the reputation they developed. And they're on that list 3 times. They did it with Art Shell, they did it with Hugh Jackson, and they did it with another one who I'm drawing a blank, but it's only been done something like 14 times since 1990, and the Raiders are 3 of them. So that is a move you don't want to make as an organization in the first place. And then the second thing is, I think they're reasonable. I mean, I think we know a lot about Mickey Loomis, and he will take a very measured look, and he'll be like, we didn't have a top 25 quarterback on the roster, and we had as many injuries as anyone in the entire league. So he will not place the blame fully on Dennis Allen. But on the other hand, we've also seen that Mickey Loomis and ownership too, if you want to throw the Pelicans in, they fired Stan Van Gundy after 1 year. They're willing to admit when they make a mistake. If they decide that they took the wrong approach. And I think it would be an overall approach that they want to do over. The let's keep it together. They kept most of the coaching staff together, most of the roster together. And if they decide we want to go a totally different direction and bring in a young coach and kind of turn over the roster, I think they'd be willing to do that. But I don't think any of it is going to be emotion based. I think it's all going to be strategy based.
Rich Bisaccia.
Oh, I wasn't counting him though.
Okay.
That was I have the photo in my phone. I could find it. Was it
John Bugle in '97?
No, did they do it with? Were they like a Schottenheimer one year? I can't remember. I'm gonna have to look it up. But
Hugh Jackson.
I could if you want to kill time. I have the list somewhere on my phone of the.
Well, Tony Sperano was the interim when they fired Dennis Allen. Golly, I'm looking.
All right. Let me try to find.
John Bugle was the coach in 1997. But I'm interested now. I'm looking at the list right now. It must have been prior.
Let's see. Oh, you're looking at a list of Raiders coaches. Okay.
Yes, I'm looking at a list of Raiders coaches. I'm curious who the other one was. I mean, Kiffin was there for a year plus a few games. Same, with DA. He was there for, I guess, his third season when they blew him out. But anyway.
I think the 49ers might have been on there twice in a row with them.
Yes.
Tom Sula and
Yes. Okay. Mike Triplett, he's on Twitter at Mike Triplett, NewOrleans.football. You can get there for just fantastic Saints coverage, NewOrleans.football. I asked if you thought they would blow out Dennis Allen. Just organizationally, if you think that they would. Now, I'm going to ask your opinion. Do you believe he deserves another year?
All right, so here's the analogy I've said on Allen. This was my favorite one. We've talked about it a million times. I don't think he is the main reason for their downfall this year. I think Sean Payton would have struggled to win more than a couple more games with this team, and we just saw it last year. Without a quarterback and with the level of injuries Sean Payton faced, Sean Payton lost 5 straight games in October and November last year. So I think any coach would have struggled to have a lot more success with this team. However, he was clearly not the guy to have the solution to get out of it. I joked with Nick, with the analogy I joked was, I said, if you ask me to house sit for you for the weekend and nothing goes wrong, you get home Monday and I say, hey, here's your house. Oh, you did a great job. But if the house catches on fire and I don't know where the fire extinguisher is, and I try throwing water on it and then I'm out of ideas, that's kind of the season Dennis Allen is having. So I am not in any way saying that Dennis Allen is doing a great job and that he's a great coach who shouldn't be judged for this season. But I do genuinely think that a lot of what has gone wrong, all the personnel decisions they made, the fact that they were over the cap and didn't have much money to spend, and the fact that they don't have great quarterbacks and the injuries that they faced, they're about where we expected, where you should expect them to be record-wise. So I don't think he has to be a one-and-done coach who has proven to be a failure. But there's also a lot of things I second-guess with him. I thought I did not, in hindsight, I really didn't like his off-season approach. I thought it was too lackadaisical. I thought it was a lot of, hey, we're going to be fine. We're going to be fine. Obviously he didn't come in and say, hey, we're building this thing from the ground up. I don't care who was here before. They trade C.J. Gardner-Johnson thinking they have the depth. I mean, there were just a lot of decisions this team made that showed a lack of urgency in the off season. And in hindsight, I think a lot of that falls on Dennis Allen for sure. So I would not be overly passionately disagreeing with either approach, but the things that really matter to me are, does the team have confidence in him? Do they buy into him? Do they believe in him? Are his game plans good game plans? Does the coaching staff, have a lot of symbiosis together under him? And a lot of those things, unfortunately, we're not as privy to as the decision makers are.
Symbiosis. Good word.
And wasn't that? I don't know if that was the right word or not, though, but it sounded good.
Well, I mean, I think you could talk about the symbiotic relationship among coaches, ownership, and players. I think there is a lot of symbiosis that would exist among the three of them. So, yes, I think symbiosis is fantastic. It's probably, while I have said symbiotic many times on this air, I believe that might be the first time we've ever had symbiosis. Can we get a ding for Mike for a symbiosis, please? There it is. I like it. I like it a lot. New word.
Beautiful. I think we have it.
You and I?
Yeah, I think so.
Oh, never really thought about it, but, has anybody ever done Mad Libs with you on air?
Just you.
That's my point. I think we might just have some symbiosis going on here. Mike, you, me, a little symbiosis. Not bad. I like symbiosis. And now we've said symbiosis enough for the entire duration of the history of this show.
I'll remember that word the next time we do Mad Lib.
Okay, good. All right, I love it. All right, Mike Triplett, NewOrleans.football on Twitter at Mike Triplett. Thank you, Mike. We always appreciate the time.
All right, thanks a lot, man.
All right, man. Be well. It's After Further Review. We're brought to you by Mold Zero USA. Mold-0USA.com. Mold-0USA.com. My goodness, my apologies. I did not do the Benny's Car Wash read in conjunction with Mike's interview. Totally my apologies. Let me do that. Benny's Car Wash. I actually took my own advice. I went to Benny's, enjoyed their wash club. $14.99, unlimited washes for the month. It's amazing. $14.99. I mean, you do 2 washes, and it's more than paid for itself, but you know what I'm doing. So I went and did the wash. I was like, you know what? The interior of my car is a little dirty. So I did the full interior clean as well. They have a membership for that as well, where you can get unlimited interior cleans. Go bring your car like once a week, let them run through it, do the whole interior. Boom. I mean, it's incredible what they offer. Benny's Car Wash, awesome spot locations all over. And if you're a part of their club, you get like 40 cents off per gallon of gas at the B-Quicks associated with Benny's. So, man, I could not recommend this highly enough. We appreciate Benny's. They've sponsored the Mike Triplett segment all year. And I actually took my own advice and went and joined their membership club, Benny's Car Wash. Check them out. Benny'sCarWash.com to learn more. Just pull into any of the Benny's Car Wash locations and ask about the Unlimited Wash Club at Benny's Car Wash. Benny'sCarWash.com. Okay, it's After Further Review. Let me knock out a break. We'll come back. I'll update the LSU portal stuff as well, because all of these conflicting numbers, we'll get you all caught up on it. So stick around with us here as we roll along on AFR.
AFR.
Rouse's is the official supermarket of the New Orleans Saints. Rouse's.com. Rouse's.com. Check them out there at Rouse's.com. And remember, as we inch closer to Christmas, what's today? Today is December the 8th, so we are less than 3 weeks from Christmas. Incredible. I guess, my goodness, Sunday will be 2 weeks from Christmas. If you're starting to think about having the family over and all that good stuff for Christmas, man, let Rouse's take care of all the fuss. Let them do the cooking for you for your Christmas Day or Christmas Eve dinner, or if you're having a holiday party. Rouse's can help. They can cater the whole thing. You want the turkey, the ham, whatever the main dish is, all the sides. Rouse's can do all of it for you. I mean, just go online to the website, rouses.com. You'll see right there on the flipper, it says leave the fuss to us. Hit that. It'll take you to the catering page. Just pick what items you want. Pay for it. When you're going to go pick it up, bada bing, bada bang, bada boom. Heat and eat. You're done. It's Rouse's, the official supermarket of the New Orleans Saints. Rouses.com. That's Rouses.com.
Nearly half of children in foster care drop out of school. But you can rewrite that story. Children and youth with CASA and GAL volunteers are more likely to succeed in school. Change a child's story. Become a volunteer today.
It's no secret. The best oysters in Baton Rouge are at Jolie Pearl Oyster Bar. Enjoy mouth-watering South Louisiana flavor and oysters from all over the country. And don't forget our nightly drink specials. Jolie Pearl Oyster Bar, located in downtown Baton Rouge.
is the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Eli's always been into grilling. It took us a while to see it, but the signs were there.
What are you doing, Eli?
I knew grilling was my thing. I have been talking about it throughout my career.
Happy with the results?
I am. Got the new grill from barbecueguys.com. It performed great.
My advice, as I always told my boys,
do more of what you were born to do.
Barbecue Guys, for those who were born to grill.
You want cheese on your burger, Pops?
I'll take a little cheese.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by the Aesthetic Medicine and Anti-Aging Clinics of Louisiana, Baton Rouge, Lafayette, and online at theantiagingclinics.com. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria.
All right, it is a rare day that you will ever get me in any high school gear that is not Cali High. That did happen today, though. Wanted to give a big shout out and good luck to Steven Ensminger Jr. Of course, Steve Ensminger's son, Steven, and many of you might remember Steven married to our dear friend Carly McCord. Steven is an offensive assistant at Ruston High, and Ruston last week beat Zachary to punch their ticket to the a Division I non-select state championship game. They'll take on Destrehan tomorrow in the Dome. And I cheer for my guy wherever he goes, and he always makes sure to get me gear. So I rolled over out to campus today because the Ruston team arrived in Baton Rouge today for a walkthrough out at well, they're going to practice in the indoor, right, to be able to practice on turf before they go to the Dome. And so I rolled up there, and Steven had a Ruston hoodie for me. So I threw on the Ruston hoodie and snapped a picture. It's on my Twitter. But, man, good luck to Steven. Good luck to the Ruston Bearcats. I got the hoodie right here. But I'm gonna tell you, man. You know why else, Muse? It's a rare day. Got my hoodie right here. Got the Ruston Bearcats hoodie. So in 1990, we had this whole like roundabout high school, 1990s high school. Anyway, 1990, Catholic made its first ever state championship appearance. It was a team with Warwick Dunn and Kevin Franklin, and they lost to Ruston, who many infamously refer to as the University of Ruston. Ruston just blew the doors off of Catholic. It was like, I don't know, it was like 50-3 or something like that. It was terrible. So everybody at Catholic kind of like holds it because it was the first state championship appearance back in 1990, and they got blown out by Ruston. So for me to wear a Ruston Bearcats hoodie is a little something. I got it on that picture. I'll put it on. I'll put it on the rest of the show. Rest
of the show. Okay. All right. It's commitment. It's commitment.
Hey, man. I'm repping my guy, dude. I'm proud.
I respect it.
When he was at Assumption, he got me an Assumption Mustangs shirt as well with my name on it. So,
hey, now there you go.
So I
like that.
So I repped it, dude.
Okay.
Muse, you may want this because you're always freezing in here.
I am always freezing. I'm freezing right now, actually.
I like this, dude. I actually really like this.
It's good. It's a good looking one, man. The red on the white looks good. It pops.
It's a white hoodie with the Bearcat logo there. I like it, man. It's pretty good. I like the pockets in the front.
The front pocket on a hoodie is just always so clutch.
Here we go, bro. Look, we're ready, dog.
You got to put the headphones on the outside.
On the outside?
Yeah.
Oh, that's a Belichick move, right? Like
exactly.
That's what the coaches do in the freezing weather. They put the hoodie on,
and then the headphones.
You know what? I've always wondered, Muse. Honestly, as someone who wears headphones every day, I've always wondered if you could hear the headphones over a hoodie. Like if you put the headphones on over the hoodie, if you could actually hear.
Well, what's the verdict?
I can hear.
There you go.
I've literally never tried this before. I look ridiculous.
I mean, yeah, no, you look completely ridiculous.
I know I look ridiculous, but I don't care. This is
kind of the point.
This actually does answer the question. That if you put the headphones, because you've seen coaches do this on it's like a snow game, right? So you put the hoodie on, you put the headset mic over the hoodie, and you know what else it does if you're outside? It
Keeps your ears warm.
Well, no, that's why you do it.
Well, yeah.
But it keeps the hood from blowing off.
Oh, see, I didn't
usually
think about that.
you have to pull the drawstring to keep it from blowing off. But like this keeps it
And
in
then
place.
you're like Kenny from South Park if you pull the drawstring too tight.
Oh my God, they killed Kenny.
Yeah.
Can I say the rest?
I don't know, Ken. I think you could say that.
You bastards. Yeah.
They say it on TV. You should be able to say it on radio.
But that's cable.
That's true.
Comedy Central.
Fair.
People, I don't think people know this. You can say whatever you want on cable. It's a paid service. Like you could drop F-bombs and all if you want on cable. People just don't do it, but you could. You could on cable. Is that it?
I mean, I don't really have anything else.
Okay.
In the hoodie conversation.
Terrific. In 45 minutes, I'll take the hoodie off. I'm going to keep the hoodie on. I'm just going to take the hood off. In 45 minutes from right now, Calandro's Rare Whiskey Raffle, virtual. It's going down. Looking forward to it. We'll be right here. So if you're watching on YouTube, shout out. Thank you so much for being here, watching us live. But this is where the raffle will go down on the Watch 104.5 ESPN YouTube channel. Looking forward to that. And if you can't be there, of course, you can go to, if you can't, or watch us, or if you want to, just go watch at Oliver Twist. They got great specials all night long for the raffle. So we appreciate our friends over there as well. All right, it is After Further Review. We're brought to you by Michelle Weighing and Measurement. I'm going to circle back here to catch up on all the portal news. There was a lot of like LSU portal roster news today. So we'll get to that real quick before we get to Otter locks. Michelle Weighing and Measurement, Michelle.com. That's Michelle.com. 29 offices across 11 different states. ISO 17025 accreditation is available. You know where to find them at Michelle.com. And with Michelle, really the thing that sets them apart more than anything by keeping you efficient in your business. And for so many instances, businesses will ship their tools to these calibration labs all over the country. And that could take you weeks to ship it to the calibration lab, have it calibrated, have it sent back to you. With Michelle, just call them. They'll come by your spot. They'll pick it up for you, take it back to the lab, calibrate it, bring it back to your office. Saves you time. It's Michelle Weighing and Measurement. The track system is a free service. It's 24/7, 365 access to all of your calibration certificates. In case you ever get audited, it's all right there for you. It's Michelle Weighing and Measurement, Michelle.com, Michelle.com. All right, Muse, I hit our portal sounder, if you would. Oh, you know what someone recommended? Yeah, I said the portal sounder is too long. I need to find this person who recommended it, who said a lot of these people are saying there's 9 in the portal. We're missing somebody then. Or if somebody can tell me who the 9th is that I missed.
Yeah.
I'm with you.
If you think there's 9, tell me who the 9th is.
Tell me who the 9th is that we're missing. But someone said we should use the Wayne's World portal sounder. But I think they mean like the doodle-doo, doodle-doo, doodle-doo. But that's like a flashback.
Yeah.
That's not a portal sounder.
Yeah. I can look for another one if that one's too long.
Or could we shorten it to like
kind
a
of shortened
second?
it about as
I don't think so.
second.
No, just have the
say
end where it goes like,
second?
it doesn't really matter. It's an abstract sound. It doesn't really mean or do anything. There's no start or finish. It doesn't really matter. You can make it a second. It used to be.
I think that might be too quick. We'll work with it a little bit more.
2 seconds. Okay.
Now we're talking.
Here's the names. Okay. We know Jack Besh is in the portal.
1.
Demarius McGee.
That's 2.
Raydarius Jones.
That's 3.
Cole Taylor.
That's 4.
Desmond Little went in today.
5.
Webb and Sampa had already
6,
gone in.
7.
And then Colby Fields went in today.
That's 8.
That's 8. Who, if we're missing someone else, please advise who we're missing. But to the best of my knowledge, there are 8 LSU Tigers in the transfer portal right now. Unless if there's someone we're missing, and if there is, please let me know. Also of significance today, Mekhi Garner accepted an invitation to play in the East-West Shrine game. So that, in effect, he went through senior day. He could come back as a super senior, but in effect, that does end his career. He's telling you he's going to compete in that East-West Shrine game. He's not coming back for a 6th season. So, all right, it is After Further Review. Otter Locks is coming up. We got to move quickly here to get the Otters pick on Thursday Night Football before we get out of here. And again, you can text Paul Nolan at 313-GET-INFO. Text the word free to 313-GET-INFO, and you'll get Paul Nolan's pick tonight on the total and then also on the spread once they know who's starting at quarterback for the Rams. Text free to 313-GET-INFO. All right, y'all, it is After Further Review. Let's knock out our final break of the show. We'll come back. We'll do some Otter Locks. We got to move quickly. It's AFR.
AFR.
Everybody knows Christmas time, the holiday season can be expensive. A lot of people tighten the financial belt during the holiday season or to be ready for the holiday season. It's tough on a lot of people. It's stressful. Buying presents, there's just a lot of obligations. There's parties, there's family things, there's presents for gift exchange. People look at, man, how do you make it through this time financially? And especially whenever you're looking at it and you go, man, during this economy right now where inflation is running rampant, you either do one of two things. You find a way to make more money, which isn't always easy, or you find a way to save money. And Insurance Network of Louisiana could certainly help with that. We all pay for insurance, and too many of us are overpaying and underinsured. You could literally start this month paying less for your insurance. And we're talking about significant amounts of money. People save thousands of dollars annually on their insurance coverage. Call Insurance Network of Louisiana, 293-0450 or lainsurance.net.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Hi, I'm Brandon Landry, founder and CEO of Walker.
Hi, my name is Dr. Craig Green.
This is Ryan Terrio with HUDCORoofing.com.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona. No matter how big your commercial roofing job, HUDCO can help.
My patients come to me because they trust that I can get the job done at a high level. Ryan Terrio and Richard Tilley have the same level of trust when it comes to roofing.
If you have a roofing issue, call HUDCO Roofing.
Give us a call, 364-1007, and we'll come to your house and give you a free inspection.
Crime has serious consequences, but anyone can make a mistake. If you find yourself in trouble with the law, know that you have rights, and it's okay to demand them. The law offices of O.C. Brown are here to protect you and your rights. Felony or misdemeanor, DUI or drug charge. No matter what crime you're accused of, you still have rights. Let the law offices of O.C. Brown uphold them. Call 225-343-1111. Your law firm for a lifetime.
Time doesn't stop, and the world keeps spinning. Community, culture, and communications, the powerful circle that connects us together. We're creating the next evolution, a network built for every possibility, moving faster than ever before, streaming us forward into the future. And the revolution is closer than you think. RTC, ATEL, and Vision are now Rev. New name, same company.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644.
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by the Aesthetic Medicine and Anti-Aging Clinics of Louisiana, Baton Rouge, Lafayette, and online at theantiagingclinics.com. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria.
All right, let's find out what we're betting on tonight. Time for Otter Locks.
Otter Locks, presented by Lofton Staffing Services. At Lofton, we put people to work. Call us today at 924-0200 or go to lofton.jobs.
Otter, I apologize. We're up against the clock. We got about 2 minutes, man. I know it's going to be an awesome night at Jolie Pearl tonight. What are we thinking for Thursday Night Football?
Hat, actually, because a lot of people come in here pregame for the hockey game.
Oh, that's right.
I mean,
heck
hat,
yeah.
That's right. Even JL, the Bobby Bowden of Tigerland, has made his presence known over here.
Well, I believe that might be Mark Frioli, but I get maybe they.
No, that was the whole joke forever. Him and Frioli are like freaking Paterno and Bowden.
They're fighting with canes to who's going to have that record. Not raising canes, like literal, like walking canes. Anyway.
All right, here we go.
Yeah, go ahead.
Trying to be profitable Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Let's try and make it a perfect profitable week this week. Got one game for you in college basketball before we get to the football, and that is Ohio State. Rutgers with a nice win on the road against Indiana. They bruised them up, but the Jersey Mike Center is a tough place to play. Come back on the road. Ohio State, the Big Ten games have been playing two conference games before they resume it because they're playing 20 total conference games for the year. Ohio State by the half to -5. -5.
Ohio State -5.
This game is tough tonight, and so you got
1 minute remaining.
All right, Raiders on an open teaser -0.5 point, and we're going to hook it up with. And I've tried to find all the NFL games, and it's none of my favorites. 2, 2.5, 1.5 teases it beyond 3 and 7. But I do find one. You always want to tease points when the lower points, total than Army Navy. Army plus 8.5. So Raiders -0.5, Army plus 8.5 teaser.
Oh, God, I love it.
Got to be creative, baby. I know I'm doing this, but we'll try.
Love the creativity. All right, Otter over at Jolie Pearl in downtown. Gorgeous spot to get there, man. Y'all go hang out with the Otter and Hanny. I knew it was coming. Hanny. All right, Otter, thank you. All right, Game Time with Jimmy Ott follows us in Baton Rouge. Muse, Danny, thanks so much. Y'all have a great night.
AFR.
As we get on down the road, we remind you about Relief Windows and ReliefWindows.com. Energy-efficient replacement windows, beautiful entry doors, hardy plank, and vinyl siding. They do it all. They do it better than anyone. It's Relief Windows. 288-8138. Call them right now. Schedule that free consultation. They'll come out to the house. They measure twice and install once. Our home, when we bought the home we're in now, we were not there for a month. It was literally within the first month that we had Brandon and the gang come out, measure, and install all the energy-efficient replacement windows. We got those Cat 5 Miami-Dade impact-resistant windows, so we know that not only increases security in our home, but, man, in this big room that we have, the wall of windows, it reduces our energy costs because it keeps that room energy-efficient with the sun beaming in every single day. It's Relief Windows. Energy-efficient replacement windows. Beautiful entry doors, hardy plank, vinyl siding, and they do it better than anyone. Experience, quality, and service. That's the Relief Windows difference. Learn more online at ReliefWindows.com. That's ReliefWindows.com.
Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram has $11,000 off MSRP plus 2.9% with 72 months on all new 2022 Ram Black Widow trucks in stock. All new Bayou vehicles come with a 1 million mile powertrain warranty and free delivery. If you need sales or service, the crew at Bayou is going to do right by you.
Follow us on Twitter at 1045ESPN to cast your vote in the Citizens Bank and Trust poll of the day. Vote daily inside Off the Bench, anytime, Hunt and Hill. And after further review, Citizens Bank and Trust brings you the poll of the day via Twitter at 1045ESPN.
I've got that blue sky. I've got that sunshine.
Winter can be magical. The Mercedes-Benz Winter Event is here, and there's no better time to check out our new Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge inventory. We have the vehicles that can make your holiday extraordinary. See all the latest technological features on the newest models during our Mercedes-Benz Winter Event. Shop our best of the best award-winning dealership. Visit mbobr.com.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
This is a house call.
This is a follow-up appointment. This is a diabetes checkup. This isn't just more convenient care, it's more advanced care. This is innovating healthcare at Louisiana's #1 hospital, Ochsner.
Oh, hey, what's up? It's Big D and Bubba, 100.7 The Tiger Morning Show. We'd love for you to join us every weekday, 4 a.m. till 9 a.m.
Yeah, everything you want in a show. Country music. We got laughs. We got celebrity in-studio guests. We just need you.
Join us every weekday morning, 4 a.m. to 9 a.m., right where it all started.
That's right. Louisiana's country station, 100.7 The Tiger.
Bayou Ford has the new inventory to get you in a new Ford truck or SUV today, or customize your next vehicle just the way you want it. All new Bayou Ford vehicles come with a 1 million mile powertrain warranty. The crew at Bayou Ford is going to do right by you.